Good morning, everybody. It is 7 a.m. on Tuesday, July 19th. Your government taco forecast today in Baton Rouge expects sunny skies with a high of 93. Government taco, where our pickled onions always make a taco wet. Coming up on OTB, we continue our live coverage of the SEC Football Media Days. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 1 of Off the Bench, live from the SEC Media Days in Atlanta, starts now.
Let we go!
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah!
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I gotta come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? What are y'all talking about? You're talking trash? I'm trying to do a radio show, guys. Rivers, Jake, and you're sitting here. Keep my name out your mouth, okay?
We were talking about Elvis.
Yeah, I guess I started that. I did not know that he died with 40 pounds of fecal matter in his belly until last week, and it's still just like...
What made you think of that just now?
So that's what I was going to say, because it's such an amazing fact that whenever I'm having a quiet moment, I find it just popping back into my head.
Well, the only thing we said about you, and the only time your name came up, we said you would never die from that.
Maybe that's just, okay, too much. Yeah, probably, yes,
Yeah.
probably, you're right.
Welcome
you're
to the show.
Elvis should have called Central Plumbing, but for his intestines.
Okay, yeah.
Welcome to the show. It is day 2 of SEC Media Day. We are live here on Radio Row, still in the beautiful College Football Hall of Fame. Big day today. Maybe that's why I'm a little on edge. It's Alabama Day already.
It's Vanderbilt Day,
Yeah,
sir.
it's Clark Lee Day.
Thank you.
There are already Alabama fans out there. When I got here this morning, they were out there yelling, wearing weird hats. I mean, it's just a lot going on.
Well, so it's the two guys. They're at every SEC Media Day. It's the one who has the ring hat, and he's been doing this so long. It is a BCS National Championship ring hat. And then it's the guy who's kind of like I actually love the other guy's costume. It's kind of like a luchador superhero type of vibe, and then he's got like a big like Mjolnir type Thor's hammer that says Yellow Hammer on it. I'm like, oh, okay, that makes sense. But yeah, so look, Alabama's actually going to start while we're on air at 9:05 a.m. Then we have Mississippi State and Mike Leach. There we go, Ribs. Also Mississippi State. That's going to be at 1 p.m. And then, excuse me, so it's actually Alabama, Vanderbilt, Mississippi State, South Carolina. So I have my schedule all mixed up. So save it. Then Clark Lee. Then Mississippi State and Mike Leach. Then South Carolina and Shane Beamer. So a great full lineup, a great full day here at the College Football Hall of Fame. Very excited to recap yesterday as well, as I got to sit down with Brian Kelly for about 8 minutes one-on-one yesterday. And obviously, he ran through the he ran through he started everything off yesterday, and he did the whole national press conference wash. So we'll break down that as well. I hope everybody's having a great day, as always. We got an OTB mailbag coming up a bit later on, and it's going to be, I'm going to let y'all know this ahead of time, it's going to be a very free-flowing show. Probably have guests popping in and out. There's not going to be a lot of structure to today's show, okay? So we're just
because
saying
there
up front.
is usually so much structure.
So I mean, I know we like to joke about that, but it is it is kind of like a general framework normally that we play off of. This is much more just nothing. Anyway.
Flying by the seat of the pants?
Yes, exactly, which is good. Jake, how are you feeling today, dude?
I'm good.
You had a good day yesterday? You were on radio all day?
Yeah, that's factual. It was good, though. It was good. Obviously, we did our show here. And then I was supposed to be on from 3 to 6, but it was LSU day. And so, once the LSU players started walking in, I'm like, well, I can't just sit here and allow Aaron Murray, Georgia guy, to interview him. So I stepped in for Aaron, started working early yesterday. But it was fun, man. The LSU guys did a fantastic job. They really did. They were ready to come here. They were polished. They gave fantastic answers. BK, of course, was great. You had a chance to sit down with him one-on-one, which was great. Looking forward to hearing that. So there was a lot of good things yesterday. I was excited about the LSU guys coming here. just talking to them, asking them the questions. You weren't getting coach speak. You were getting something that you could tell there was like passion behind what they were saying. I thought Mike Jones Jr. is going to take our job one day.
Oh, my gosh.
Without question.
He was incredible.
Yeah.
Like, just put that man in front of a mic all the time.
And I want to say, I mean, we have a massive sound list to pull from here, and so we can get into all that. So we got sound from Besh and Mike Jones, and we will play those a bit later on.
So when Mike Jones sat down, I mean, everybody does it. Like Chris Childers is like, Mike Jones is like, who? And then like we did.
God, that's got to get so old.
Well, but he said he was so nice about it. Did you hear him answer?
What did he say?
Yeah, well, I mean, I've asked him that like a thousand.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, you get tired of it, don't you? And he's like, man, look, that's just part of the deal. My name is Mike Jones. He goes, it's kind of like I got something that people know me by now, which is kind of cool. So he was great about it. But
very good
but
attitude.
Neuheisel's like, what are you two doofuses talking about?
Rick had no idea.
He had no idea.
Wow, Rick, not used to being the kind of uncool one
I
on the
know.
outside looking
I know.
in, putting old Newsy on the back
I
heel.
was like, look, I'm old.
gotta
I get
love it,
but
dude.
you gotta get with the times here.
Jake did indeed get called old yesterday. Who were you interviewing at that point?
I was, I think it was Martez Manuel from Missouri, and I was with Cole Kublik, and he had on some really cool shoes. They were black and gold, Missouri's colors, and they're custom. And so Cole's actually asking him about the shoes, and he's like, well, yeah, I got a great shoe connect. And then he stops, and he looks at Cole. He goes, well, y'all kind of old. Y'all know what that is? And so for me, like, I kind of hear that every day. Like, on this show, I'm the old guy on this show, so I'm laughing. And I think Cole, and I'd love to get him down here when he walks by, I think it hurt him a little bit. Not even the old part, but the fact that that guy thought Cole didn't have a shoe connect.
Yeah, no, I mean, well, exactly, because, I mean, that's Cole's, like, if anybody follows Cole on Twitter or watching that, that's kind of his deal. What are you most looking forward to today? Is it Nick? I mean, Lane was very Lane was an interesting case yesterday because everybody that I talked to that had him in a personal setting was talking about how kind of boring and empty the interviews were, but he did have, when he was up there, he did have some very quotable pieces about the reality of NIL and how, like, how good are your boosters? And then how about this quote? You legalize cheating, so get ready for people that have the most money, get the better players, and there you have it. Like he has, Lane, since the beginning of this NIL shift, has been very upfront with how he views it's all going to play out.
Yeah, I mean, you said though, I mean, one-on-one sitting down in an interview, you're trying to pull, and he sat down with Cole and I know plenty of people that have a relationship with Lane. Like,
yeah,
his college roommate, Billy Volek, is one of my best friends in this world. So, you try to like, hey, you know Billy, I know Billy. Let's open up a little bit. Let's
Billy
relax
Volek,
a little
what a
bit.
legend.
And you just weren't going to get that. I mean, the answers were 3 words. They were quick. He was slouched in his chair. You just didn't get Twitter Lane, and you didn't get Podium Lane either. And so, but I mean, I've interviewed him probably 8 times, and that's kind of been what I've gotten. And it's been with different people. So, yeah, he saves his best material for the podium.
Do we think, or do we know, or do we think does Lane run his own Twitter?
I think so. I mean, I
had a deep conversation over some beers last night with somebody about this, where I actually too, I do. I think Lane actually runs his Twitter. It's not like a Tom Brady, right? Where Tom Brady's
Right.
very likable, but you can very clearly see that he has like a social media team.
I think too, Twitter Lane. I mean, I know that he's notorious for boring interviews, right? Like everybody I talked to yesterday was like, I mean, he's just so boring. But we've had him on, and he's been so funny. He's been Twitter Lane. And so
we got him a couple times, but I don't think he does it anymore.
Did y'all get
that
him
was in his
during Ole
FIU
Miss?
days?
No.
No. That's what I'm saying. That was kind of shut down having Lane on.
Right, I'm saying, but y'all didn't have him once he got
like
No,
one time.
no.
One time. I think
So
at the very
now he's
beginning.
maybe like corporate Lane. I don't know, but like he can be Twitter Lane.
He has learned from the Nick Saban playbook, right? The best path in these live interviews a lot of times is just to not say anything at all. But then just kind of pop off every now and then for the tweets. So look, I'm excited to see what Saban has to say today. Obviously, a lot of intrigue with him and the Jimbo situation going down recently. I know they already kind of hash that over, but you know it's going to come up. To me, Jake, some of the most interesting stuff from yesterday was Greg Sankey. Really, and because basically what it is it's like a State of the Union, right? It's Greg Sankey just telling you where the SC is, where it's going, and even outside of what he said, which we can get to, that man carries himself with so much more kind of power and confidence than he did when he first got this job a few years ago. Like, he clearly knows that he is in the handful of, 5 guys that rule college football, like
he's
the
number
most
one.
Powerful.
He's
well,
the most powerful.
So I was thinking about this, though. I still can't put him over Nick. I think there's one coach you can't talk down to. Like, I think he can basically put everybody else on. And he kind of did yesterday. He was like a stern father up there being like, look, man, I had to get these coaches. I had to tell them, like, y'all got to chill out.
I understand what you're saying, and I've got great respect for Coach Saban. Sankey runs college football. He's the number one figure in college football. You sit down and you have a conversation with him. We had him yesterday, and I'm just like sitting there blown away. Yeah. I mean, with every answer, you could have asked him anything. Childers asked him about promotion and relegation, and he had he was ready to go. You had that model, and I know in European soccer, and I'm like.
But he said it wasn't realistic. I mean,
he did, right? Yeah. But I'm saying he had an answer for it. I haven't. We talk about promotion and relegation kind of as a sidebar joke on the radio. He had an answer ready to go for it. I mean, he's as polished as you'll ever see. But he's not like one of those guys who, there's no arrogance about him. It's just it's the matter of the fact. And I'm just going to be Greg Sankey. I'm going to be the number one figure in college football. And I'm going to carry myself in that way in every single thing that I do.
Yeah, he radiates that. He radiates that confidence and power. And he got out there and made a very clear statement saying the SEC is already a super conference.
Right.
Saying, he continued to talk about how the expansion of the SEC is contiguous, talking about geography and everything, getting little digs in.
That
at
was
the Big
definitely
Ten.
a dig.
Yes,
that was in his first one.
Yes.
I mean, minute
yeah,
and a half.
and then he came back to it 4 or 5 times during the questions.
We've added teams that make sense from a geography standpoint. I was like, oh, yeah, that's a shot.
He used contiguous. Great word, by the way. Contiguous.
Right when you said that, I didn't catch the first part of what you were saying, and I was like, is T-Bob just using the word contiguous?
No.
But it was someone else.
Did.
Will he from now on? Yes.
I know. I've always known the word contiguous. I just don't talk geography enough to use it.
But that sounds like a word that you would just try to throw in there.
Well, next time I'm having a discussion of states that touch one another, maybe I will.
Next time you have a conversation about New Jersey, your favorite state, we can have a conversation about it.
Me and Hugh, okay?
Oh, Hugh is from New Jersey.
We're Rutgers guys, okay?
He was
actually, though, I heard somebody asked Jake Crane yesterday what state he was from, and he said Nashville. I think that's worse. And everyone looked at him, and he was like, that's not a state.
It's in a state.
He was like, it's just a state of mind.
Yeah, it's in a state.
It is in a state.
That is in a
That
state.
is factual.
The other big Sankey quote to me yesterday was the quote, it is never going to be the way that it was, but it doesn't have to be the way that it is. We are dealing with complex problems that won't be resolved by complaints, accusations, finger pointing, or simple solutions. And so basically they were getting
that was
out
his
there.
big motto, when he sat down with us in Destin.
Yeah,
that's
he's
when
been nailing that.
But it was kind of off the cuff.
You think he said that? You think he said that off the cuff? Originally,
when he said it,
never going to be the way that it is. He does listen to a lot of Bob Dylan.
When he said it, after he paused and he wanted to think about how he wanted to follow it up with, and then he gave the rest of it. And at the time, I'm like, damn, that's really, really good.
Could you tell? So you felt like it was like an improv piece at the time.
Yes.
Could you tell that he was pleased with himself as soon as he said it? Because I know, when I feel like I nail a line,
right,
you do kind of adopt it and then put it in your head, and you're like, okay, I can use
I don't
that
know.
again.
I mean, because I think the next thing he talked about was U2 and the concerts he went to, but
But I'm saying he loves Bob Dylan. It's got a very kind of lyrical bent to it.
No, he is. So when I say he's a U2 fan, he travels, he's seen them 100 times type U2 stuff.
When he told you he's a fan, you should be like, oh, U2? Like, because I'm.
So he was really excited when we got those iPhones with that loaded U2 album on.
He was that guy. He was the one.
I forgot
he was
about
the one
that.
iTunes loaded
When
it up.
iTunes tried to force U2 on us.
Nobody calls me number 2 in the South Park YouTube episode. I'll never get that. But the point of all of that is that Sankey was being very, very clear that they are not pleased with how wild it all is right now. He was shaming the NCAA for not being more proactive in all this and allowing it to get to this point. And then he offered a couple of interesting solutions to try to figure this thing out. And so why don't we do this? Why don't we go to break, and when we get back, we'll pick back up the Sankey presser, because he said some things that could have massive, massive ramifications for the future of college football. Do you know who Wolfman Jack is from American Graffiti? Hey, what's up, y'all? Wolfman Jack here on the line, 1s and 2s. Yes, does that look like Wolfman Jack, or sound like Wolfman Jack? Was that a good Wolfman Jack?
So if I didn't know you, like I know you, so it would be Tiny Hands. But if I didn't know you, your call sign would be Wolfman.
Wolfman.
I mean, you look like a wolf.
Hey, keep it locked right here and Off the Bench, man. We got more Wolfman Jack coming up next here, live from SEC Media Days.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Oh, my God.
All right, go to allstartoyotabatonrouge.com while T-Bob figures out what is going on with his voice. We'll have to work on that. Buying, leasing, renting, it doesn't matter. They make it incredibly easy, and the full fleet is available in all the things that they offer. So if you need something bigger, if you need a full-size SUV, a mid-size SUV, if you need a Tundra, a Tacoma, looking for a truck, they have multiple trucks, multiple sedans, hybrids, Sienna minivan, if you want to rent that for a vacation, they've got that as well. The full fleet is available. Go check it all out, T-Bob, at allstartoyotabatonrouge.com.
AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com, AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com. I don't know what's going on. I feel like, I've gotten a lot of sleep, feel good, no heaters. I don't know what's going on.
Not staying up real late?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. AllStarToyotaBatonRouge.com. Go see them off at Airline Highway today. Let them be your guide in the car buying wilderness. They can lead you to the answers for you and your family. All-Star Toyota Baton Rouge.
Our coverage this week is also brought to you by Jerry Lane and Rejuvame, and by 104.5 ESPN's official SEC Media Days sports betting partner, DraftKings. More from the 2022 SEC Football Media Days is coming up next.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off MSRP on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
Henniger. Join me and Mike Delicano for the next edition of Jimmy Ott's Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers. We'll be at Mike Anderson Seafood, Wesley at Nicholson. SEC Media Days coverage, plus our NFL preview continues. Jimmy Ott's Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live from the 2022 SEC Football Media Days, presented by Hudco Roofing. All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Welcome back to OTB. Jimmy Guidry says, I only pop in here during SC Media Days. Week 4 football season starts. Welcome, Jimmy. Welcome. Go ahead and hit the like button while you're here, James, okay? And we're going to have a good day today. We will get to player sound from the LSU players. We will get to the Brian Kelly interview. We got Roman Harper coming by here in a little bit.
Oh, my guy.
Yeah, you know, an Alabama guy on Alabama Day. Ro, I mean, you want to talk about
Yeah, but he fixed it with the Saints.
Yeah, yes. And just, I mean,
he's a great
one
dude.
of the most beautiful human beings in the world. That
Yeah.
salt and pepper thing he has going on.
Dude, I mean, look, between his neck and Takeo Spikes, who just joined the
Oh,
SEC
that's
network
right, dude. Too
yesterday
much neck.
officially, that's a lot of neck.
It's a lot of neck, dude.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I'd
all
love
I got
to
to
see
say
them
is
in a big cat drill.
just don't be talking out the side of it when you're dealing with me. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Yeah, I don't think TK or Roman's worried about that.
I don't think so either. That's a very, no. Takeo Spikes is like probably in the top 10 guys that most intimidated me throughout my childhood just because of how swole he was.
Oh, my gosh, dude. When I became his teammate.
Oh, you were Takeo Spikes' teammate?
Yeah.
Did you ever ask him what his secret was?
For the neck?
Yeah.
For the neck.
I called him sir, and I moved along. Dude, he'd give a pregame speech, T. And oh my God, it was so good. Like I don't even remember like the words, but he was talking about being a bull and being caged up and being ready to go. And he starts like he puts his fist up in the air. He starts like doing like a bull would do, like in the middle of the carpet, dude. And he just like he's flexing. There's veins everywhere, and I'm just like, this man is going to literally kill someone. Every time I played him, he had a club on his hand too. That he would use as
he's
like
just
a
one
weapon.
of those players that he just had a constant broken hand.
Always.
Just playing too hard.
Yeah, no doubt.
Like you.
Yeah, exactly. Which, by the way, I don't want to, my broken pinky is better today.
Is this Thomas looking for you right now?
It's not great. Yo, Ro, what's happening, dog? Are you coming by right now? Yeah, let's go. We were just talking about you. Ro, true or false? When you and Takeo Spikes, now that y'all are co-workers, when y'all get together, are y'all going to have a neck off? Are y'all going to sit there and just compare? Hold on, hop on the mic here. Hop on the mic. Let's see what you got here. Roman Harper, legend, sitting down with us.
No, my neck it has gotten smaller.
You done look smaller from here, bro.
Not as many traps. You know what I mean?
Is that the key?
Yeah, man. I'm not in the trap boy like I used to be, bro.
You think
that was like mandatory? 315 or more.
315 shrugs. How many reps?
I mean, I'm not stopping till at least 15.
Yeah. Wow. See, I'm doing like 225, 15 right now. Now I feel like, Jesus.
But TK's probably got like a neck machine. TK's got a neck machine.
He's probably got the four-way neck.
He's
probably got the four-way neck.
In his bedroom, he probably does.
That's the key.
He's got the towel ready to go. Yeah, no
and see, I hated that. And so I had a small neck my whole life, bro. And my dad used to call me little pencil neck.
Oh, what?
Squeak all the time.
So
and then all of a sudden, I got to college and it just blew up.
Oh, so this was actually a point of like self-consciousness, and you made it into a strength. That's what they tell you to do, right? Wrap yourself up in your weakness, make it your strength.
Man, just let it continue to just fuel your fire. And
Wow.
I guess that's what really happened to me.
Oh my God. Okay, we're getting all the stories here. Roman Harper, legendary New Orleans Saint, also legendary Alabama player. It is Alabama Day, Ro. Before we get to that, outsider view, how'd you feel BK did yesterday?
I thought he did well. I think, of course, he was a little nervous probably at first. It's his first media day in the SEC. I mean, does Notre Dame even do media days?
No, it's his first one since 09. Yeah, he said the Big East Media Day at Cincinnati. That was in Rhode Island.
I was like, I didn't think about that. I literally just said that. So, I mean, of course he had a little bit, but I loved how he had a presence about he knew who he was.
Yeah.
He knew what he was trying to get done. He had a goal in mind of where he's trying to take LSU. He talked about those things. He talked about the competency of his quarterbacks, the offense that they're laying out there for these guys, and the competition that's going on right now in Baton Rouge. I think Baton Rouge has a great coach in their hands right now with Brian Kelly. I don't question Brian Kelly or his ability to coach a football team. That's the least of my worries with LSU right now. It's all about giving him enough time, and will the athletes be able to respond enough, and also it's just getting so much more competitive. It's not as easy to just lock down Louisiana and get all the Jacob Hesters out of there, and he talked about going up.
To be fair, nobody cared about him as a recruit. I was the 2-star. I was the 4-star, number 2 center in the nation. Let's be clear.
I know who's the best veteran in the NFL.
Yeah, I was like,
Hey, look, we're talking about recruiting. I don't know. That's a subjective fact, dude.
I just know. He talked about going up north. He talked about going out more west to Monroe and everything. Because Alabama, we get 1 or 2 of those guys from that area.
And so I'm
every
from
year.
And I'm from North Louisiana. And look, our listeners know that's something I am prideful about. But you're right. Like, you have to treat the entire state like you treat New Orleans and Baton Rouge because there is great players. Monroe has had a lot of great Alabama football players.
Not just great players, but pros.
Yeah, Cam Robinson.
Cam Robinson.
We could go down. I mean, Hootie was a Monroe guy.
Yeah. No, I mean, Miles had let those relationships falter. I think O kind of brought them back, and now Kelly's been very proactive in keeping them going. So I agree with you. We agree that we think that he will be successful over time.
Yes.
Year 1 may be a little weird, but we'll see.
I think it's going to be a lot of weird things. The transfer portal doesn't help. It just kind of speeds up the process. So if you're able to continue to try and hit on that, I mean, you got coaches like, Lane Kiffin. I mean, he's leaning on it. Like he's like, I'm not even recruiting. I'm just transfer portal. I'm just portal pimping it straight up.
Which is completely different than BK's like, look, we had to do it this way. We want to build it the old school way. The high school recruits. Lane's like, no, man, I'm just going to go hit the portal every single year. So it's crazy. Like, I mean, 2 guys that are completely different opposites. And BK talked about, look, this year we had to. This year we had to go take 18 guys out of the portal because we played a bowl game with like 6 people.
Yeah.
Okay, so we had to. But he's like, I don't want to specialize in it that way. So everybody's going to do it a little bit different. I mean, obviously, Coach Saban, like, he's going to be selective in who he takes to the transfer portal.
5 or 6 guys a year.
Every year. It's going to be 5 or 6 elite guys.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right? But it's not going to be 18.
He's just like, who's the best player on, who's the best player on Vanderbilt? Okay, yeah, come on.
He did take the best player on Vanderbilt.
Yeah, come on over here.
Tyler Steen's a really good player.
Who was it last year? Tennessee? Yeah, I mean, Tennessee, you're garbage, but you're pretty good. Come on.
What he did to poor Georgia Tech getting Jamar Gibbs.
Yes! Why? What did Georgia Tech do? They're in the ACC. I feel like they've won like 3 games in 3 years. Yeah. They didn't deserve that.
I did an interview with a guy out of Miami yesterday, and he was like, I'm so happy Alabama took Bell. Oh, my gosh. He's like, this guy is an animal. He's the best player by far that was on Georgia Tech's team and possibly offensively in the ACC. And he's no longer there, and we're so happy he's out. And he's really kind of underneath the radar right now at Alabama. Alabama already has a couple guys in the backfield, but they say this guy is a special young man.
Okay, so speaking of Nick Saban, the Crimson Emperor is going to be walking through these doors in not long. What are you expecting today? I mean, because he's going to get asked a bunch of questions about all the Jimbo drama, right? How do you think he's going to handle it?
I think he's going to – so he's not going to – he's not going to really just persecute the way he does his own media back in Tuscaloosa, right? We're like, if you ask him the wrong question at any point in time, it may go down. So I think he's going to be a little bit – he's more prepared for it. It's kind of early. He's going to handle it the best that he can. I don't expect more than 3 people to ask the same question because you know what may happen then, and everybody knows that. So He's going to answer it once. He's going to answer it twice. By the third time, he's going to give the look, and then it's not going to be – it's going to get nipped in the bud. and then we're going to move on. I think he's going to keep it real short, but I also think Sankey's stepping in and say, hey, look, boys, this is not good for us. Let's all calm it down. Because I think that was another thing that really kind of calmed the waters a little bit, because I don't think the coaches were doing a great job of it themselves. So Sankey stepping in kind of really just like, all right, ease it.
It's wild how powerful Sankey's grown. And that now he can sit there and he can actually, he can kind of tell the coaches. Like, when he first got that jab, he probably had to be subservient to a lot of those guys. Not anymore, right?
Yes.
Maybe not even Nick
He calmed
nowadays.
the waters of the whole college football space yesterday by getting up there and saying, we're not actively shopping. Or we're not actively seeking to take in more.
Point.
We're very happy with 16. And we're in the point right now where they don't have to reach out. They're just fine.
He's the most powerful figure in college football, right?
Yes, he is.
I mean, we're just talking about that. I think he's number one, and there's no close second.
No.
I mean, everything that he does.
I mean, Nick would be second. Or like first. It's like 1A and 1B a little bit there to me. But it's
the Crimson Empire.
Yeah.
So.
Jesus. So as you know,
let's see how powerful he is. Can he get federal Congress? Can he get Congress to enact laws? Because that's what Sankey was talking about. Like, that's what they're going to have to do.
That's what Sankey was looking at. And I'm just going to flat out say it. It's not going to happen. And this is why.
Yeah, you're going to get 12 state legislatures to agree to the same rules, dude.
That too. And just what does it look like on the outside looking in? It's going to look like 12 or 18 old white guys trying to control the system again. It's just like in a sport where majority African Americans or minorities run it or being successful in it, they already don't come from a lot.
And the second you get money, they're capping compensation.
Now the second they get it, now you're like, we're going to come and take it. They're like, it just doesn't.
It's a bad look.
It's a bad look.
It's an awful look.
So it's just not a way to continue to – and all that you all know, they only care about getting reelected. So that's not going to help their cause, so they're not going to do it.
Bro, we got to talk Saints real quick before we let you go. How we feeling, dude? Tyrann Mathieu in the building now.
I actually like the signing of Marcus May.
Yeah,
I was going to say Marcus May is a sneaky, really great signing. He's a do-it-all safety. He can tackle very well. He can cover. He makes a lot of plays on the ball as well. Tyrann Mathieu, a great veteran. I'm just glad that he's in a more mature place now in his life because coming out of college, people were scared that if he came back to New Orleans, it wouldn't be good.
100%.
So now to see this whole thing come full circle, him and Juice Landry coming back, they got some firepower. It all comes down.
Jameis.
There we go.
How we feeling?
Yeah.
All right. If
I'm a believer.
I am too. He must take care of the football. He showed signs that he was being better about that last year. He had the one terrible game against Carolina. I was actually at the game. It was awful.
It was so bad. They got their ass kicked by Sam Darnold.
You're rooting for the Saints in that one, though, right?
I root for players in that, really.
Okay,
you know what I mean? The Panthers gave me free tickets, so I'm like, I'm there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm drinking tons of beer with the wife. I'm hanging out, but I'm rooting for the guys.
Chargers, Broncos, everybody has fun.
You know what I mean? That's all it is. I'm rooting for all the guys I know. So, but yes, I think Jameis, he had gotten better with taking care of the football, and that's what it's going to come down to. That and how long is AK suspended?
Right.
Because he will be suspended for whatever amount of games.
Probably like 6, I think.
6, but whatever it is, you take off 2 to 3, just because
that's fair.
Yeah, you get 6, well, they're going to fight you. You get dwindle down to 4. So that's how I always look at it. And the NFL knows that too. That's why they do it. Because if you go for 4, like, it's only going to be 2.
Well, the NFL process is hilarious because, like, Goodell hands out the punishment, they appeal to Goodell, and then he's like, all right, I'm not going to.
Look,
that's what's understood.
I remember you get like any kind of fine, uniform fine, or if you throw the ball in the stands fine, whatever. I'd be like, hey, Teddy Cantrell, man, look, I really, really didn't mean to do that. I really need you to take care of me on this one. And whatever it was, they cut it in half, but you had to give them a good story.
You had to give them a good story. Yeah. It's more like they just want to hear the excuse.
Exactly.
They want you to get on the phone and beg.
Yes, that's exactly what it is.
Whether it's a uniform violation, you're like, dude. I mean, I would wear. They get me for like all wearing no black or not showing white, like just wearing all black. Yep. And I'd be like, it was Thursday night, man. It was like I'm trying to be swaggy.
Had some extra cameras. It was Thursday night football.
Yeah. They're like, I get it. I get it.
Right.
And then they knock it down.
Well, you ain't getting no uniform violation in that fit, bro.
Nah,
thanks,
you
bro.
were looking good today. Roman Harper. New Orleans Saint legend, Alabama legend. Catch him on the SC Network. You're live all day. Y'all live all day
I'm
again?
live all day again, man. I'm from 9 to 12. Then I got a couple other things this afternoon. So.
Hell yes. Thanks for sitting down with us,
Hey,
bro.
man. Appreciate y'all anytime, man.
Always
You know you're my
pleasure,
boys over here, man.
Absolutely,
Thank y'all.
man.
Have a good one.
All right.
And, Roll Tide.
No. It's hit me wine.
Hey, I do have to give.
Who dat was right there.
It was right there.
It was right there. A bonding who dat.
I do have to give Roman credit. His 2005 Alabama team, the defense he was a part of, D'Amico Ryans.
Yeah.
Nobody talks about that Alabama team.
D'Amico Ryans.
We went to Tuscaloosa the next to last game of the regular season. They were undefeated. We were like number 6. They were number 3 or 4, and we beat them in overtime. But that was a really good Alabama team that nobody really ever talks about, and that was Roman's senior year.
Yeah. I mean, right, the pre-Saban era.
Right.
So
that was a good team.
All right, when we get back, now we can go back to the Greg Sankey conversation, what it means for the future of college football, and we'll get to some player sound as well. Keep it locked here on OTB.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to Donaldson Glass and Body, dgbauto.com. DonaldsonGlassandBody.com works as well. I love our friends over there at Donaldson Glass and Body. They're the absolute best, man. Right now, remember, if you need collision repair, they do free pickup and drop-off delivery. You also get Nick Frederick picking your vehicle up, and my boy's looking swole AF right now. Little eye candy, okay, while you're getting your car taken care of. But the best part is, man, you can trust DG&B. Like, it's not one of those situations where you walk in and you're like, oh, I know I'm about to get fleeced. Like, I feel like a lamb and there's a bunch of wolves circling around me. Not the case at DG&B. They're going to get you back on the road safely and affordably with just what you need. So today, one-stop car shop, extend the life of your vehicle. Police can't tell you who gets a tow. Insurance can't tell you where to go. You say, I'm going to Donaldsonville Glass and Body, dgbauto.com.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
Bayou Ford has $10,000 off new Ford F-150s. We have new 2021 F-150s on our lot now with $10,000 off MSRP. And all new Bayou Ford vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing.
I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
Tuesday edition of Hunt and Hill. Have a real good feeling what this LSU baseball team is going to look like next year. And the SEC Media Days talk continues. Hunt and Hill, noon to 2 weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live from the 2022 SEC Football Media Days, presented by Hudco Roofing. All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's going on, yo? Welcome back to OTB. Bryce Young, the Heisman Trophy winner, right in front of us right now. Some swaggy Aggie shoes right there, bruh. Wild shoes. And the wild part is, so Bryce is standing in front of his own display at the College Football Hall of Fame. So there's a Heisman Trophy, a Bryce Young jersey, a National Championship sweatshirt, an Alabama helmet, and everybody is crowded around him as he is standing. Rivers, can you get like a picture of this? And right now, it is our pleasure to be joined by Mr. College Football himself, Tony Barnhart. Catch him on the SEC Network, a little 680 The Fan. Tony, what's going on, man? Thanks so much for sitting down with us.
First of all, it's great to have a home game. Barnhart got to wake up in his own bed this morning.
Let's go.
That's good. Although I had to meet somebody early here, so I didn't get to say goodbye to Mrs. Barnhart. But we're good.
I saw you in there. I saw you down there very early this morning, locking in. It's Alabama Day.
I had an early meeting because of it, but glad to be here and glad to have you guys in Atlanta.
Yeah, absolutely, man. So, okay, I want to start with what Greg Sankey talked about yesterday, right? Because it was a State of the Union to all of college football in a lot of ways. In terms of, okay, let's start here, the very complex question or answer. When it comes to how to, if it doesn't have to be how it is now and they want to change it, when it comes to affecting that change, obviously like federal Congress would be one way.
Yep.
He mentioned something that sounds impossible. It's getting 12 state legislatures to agree on a blanket set of
Good
rules.
luck with that.
Yeah. So I don't know, man. Like, how do you? Is there any fixing this thing?
There is it's not an easy fix. That's not the way to do it. But you have to have some central authority, either Congress or, quite honestly, a super conference like the SEC. And we learned yesterday they are indeed a super conference. So we know
clear.
that has to do that. Or you do it by the geographical states that comprise, but then I've got what I call the radical solution. And the radical solution is this. Why do we have a salary cap in the NFL? Why does that exist? Because the players collectively bargained with the owners to create the salary cap. The radical solution is that the players become employees of the university.
Yep.
They collectively bargain for what they're going to make.
Mm-hmm.
And then that takes the antitrust element out of this equation. That's the problem. People always tell us guys, well, why don't you do this and why don't you do that? Well, that'd be great, but I'll get hauled into court. And Justice Kavanaugh of the Supreme Court has already said, do not come back with this.
Yeah.
So, it's
people have the drafts pre-written for if, like, somebody was going to try to cap this
No
from
question.
the NCAA. They're ready to fire him off.
Can't do it.
What about this? There was one comment that he made that I maybe am making too much of, but I found it to be deeply interesting, where he specifically referenced the disparity of resources among schools, right? And that's interesting to me because, ideally, you would want a league like the NFL where every team's, playoff relevant, or they can go to the playoff each year. Everybody's winning and losing, every fan base competitive. I think it results in more money for everybody. Is there any world, maybe it's in the radical solution, where you do, cap, investment or try to equal out investment?
I think one of the things involved is you when you're dealing with stuff like this, if you're the have like the SEC, well, as the old coach said, you still got to have somebody to play, okay, outside of your conference. And I think some shared revenue. Well, listen, the group of 5, they get money now from the playoff pool. Mm-hmm. Could you make that some more? But I think it's beholden to the Power 5 conferences to make sure the rest of college football is healthy and the rest of the Power 5 is healthy, and maybe there's a way to do that. So.
Hey, when we start talking about expansion in the SEC, and Commissioner Sankey's like, no, hey, we're kind of good. We know the presidents want to stay at 16. Tony, I don't think people realize, like, when you look at the top 25 most valuable college football programs, South Carolina is almost $20 million more valuable than Clemson.
Yeah.
So when people are like, you got to add Clemson. Look, as a fan, as someone who covers the game, would I love to see Clemson, LSU, Clemson, Georgia, Clemson, Florida? Yes. But it has to make sense for the SEC. They can be selective in who they choose.
Yes, and I try to tell people where the fans don't understand is they're looking at, well, Clemson's won 2 national championships lately, and they're good. And all that is true. But that's not what we're talking about.
Nope.
What we're talking about is the number of eyeballs that are going to be on television sets and creating value for the conference. And right now, people, well, what about Clemson and Florida State and Miami? I said, look, Clemson, as great a program as it is, as great a school as it is, they don't give the SEC anything they don't already have.
Yeah.
They have the University of South Carolina. They have the University of Florida.
Yeah.
They've got those markets locked up. And so the other factor in this is that you're not going to add teams just to add teams. You've got to add teams because they give you value. And if the goal, let's just say the goal of the SEC is to pay $100 million a school. Is that is the goal.
Right.
Yeah. Well, if you're going to bring in 2 more schools, you've got to generate an additional $200 million by doing that. Because the first rule of college athletics is nobody's going to make less money this year than they did last year just to bring in a couple more teams. You're not going to do that.
So let's talk about an actual football question then. We got a couple minutes left. Obviously, Alabama's 3 players, maybe the best 3 players that I've ever seen brought to a media day, right? Like, it's insane, and it's Alabama. Does Georgia give them a fight this year? Like, we're having to replace all of that talent. LSU failed in their own quest to try to replace a massive talent exodus. What do you think Georgia does?
Georgia will be very good again. Now, you got to put that into some kind of context.
Yeah.
Are they going to be as good defensively a year as they were a year ago? No, absolutely not. You're talking about a defense that lost 5 first-round draft choices who were really, really good. But they've recruited at a very high level for about 5 years, and they're going to have very good players. Georgia will be good. The question I raised the other day, but will good be good enough with a hungry Alabama waiting in the wings?
And, that hungry part is the key there, right?
Yeah.
Too, because now Kirby's also having to prove, okay, you made it to the mountaintop. Can you deal with the success? Whereas Alabama, literally, they have players out here calling it a failure in interviews.
Horrible
last year a failure.
Horrible season for Alabama.
Won the SEC, won the Natty.
SEC championship. Just a horrible year.
Tony, we were having a roundtable discussion over with our serious team, and we were asking the question, who's the 3rd best team in the SEC?
That's a great
Cole
question.
gave a different answer. I gave one. Dorian gave a different. Burns gave a different answer. There's so many teams that could fit that mold, but there's also so many that you pick to be the 3rd best team that could be the 10th best team in the SEC.
Yeah, and I think Chris Doering said this morning, or it might have been Greg McElroy, but basically said, take Georgia and Alabama out of the equation, take Vanderbilt out of the equation. Let's talk about 3 through 13. It's a toss-up.
Yeah.
All those teams are pretty much the same, and so anybody could finish 3rd. That same team could finish 10th.
Yeah.
But that's what's be so great about the SEC this year.
I agree.
There are going to be more good teams in this conference than we've had in a long time.
Wait, I got to get an answer, though. I got to get who's your 3rd best team?
Okay.
My 3rd best team
is
probably Texas A&M.
Okay.
Because of what they got on the defensive
Kentucky.
side. Let me tell you what Mark Stoops has done at Kentucky is
unbelievable.
Phenomenal what he's done. And, oh, by the way, this is his 10th year.
Yeah.
Nobody has ever stayed 10 years at Kentucky, not even Bear Bryant.
I give Mitch Barnhart so much credit for allowing Mark to build that program in his own mold, to be able to go through some trials and tribulations at the beginning, recruit his own way, and now look at that program. They beat Florida and LSU in back-to-back weeks last year. I don't care what Florida and LSU's records were. At Kentucky, that means something.
Well, after the first 2 years at Kentucky, they wanted to run Mark Stoops out of town.
Yeah.
Mitch Barnhart did the wise thing that good athletic directors do. Coach, what do you need?
Right.
Yeah.
He said, I need a football building that I can recruit to.
Yep.
$50 million later, they built one. Our stadium needs an upgrade. $125 million investment in the Commonwealth Stadium.
Yeah.
So and the payoff comes now.
Yep.
Well, from one Barnhart to another, Tony Barnhart, Mr. College Football at Mr. CFB on Twitter, SEC Network, 680 The Fan, everything else, man. Tony, thanks so much for sitting down with us this morning.
All right, guys. Good to be with you.
Yes,
Always
sir.
a pleasure.
When we get back, closing out hour 1, kicking off hour 2 after that.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Thank you so much, Tony. That was great, man. All right. I want to remind you to go to Central Plumbing, 925-8552, 925-8552. Again, if Elvis's intestines were plumbing, he could have called Central Plumbing. He could have got flat rate pricing, so he would have known exactly what to expect. He could have somebody who's licensed, bond insured, knows what they're doing, come out to check out his plumbing, and they could have fixed it. And even had to lift a finger. Unfortunately, he is not a house, but you may have a house. If it is plumbing issues, you want Central Plumbing.
I'll have to tell you that joke's the last time I'm going to let you use it. CentralPlumbing.org,
Oh, wow,
Central Plumbing. Well, look, I let you have it for a little bit, right?
That was pretty good.
CentralPlumbing.org, 225-925-8552. Remember, not only in emergencies, if you want to go tankless, if you want to get an upgrade, if you want new tile, new shower, new vanity, they can certainly come in and give you a consultation on that as well. 225-925-8552.
This week on DropBiscuit.com or wherever you listen to podcasts is our new series, Pops, the Louis Armstrong story. Pops is brought to you by New Orleans & Company. Check out neworleans.com and come visit New Orleans.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but 2 NMEA certified techs. Family owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years. Front to Back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to fronttobackboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front to Back Boat Service.
Visit Acura of Baton Rouge for attractive offers on the MDX.
My own people call me an Uncle Tom. I play music. Been wined and dined by royalty. Trying to bring people together. All people. But regardless of all that kind of stuff, I'm still Louis Armstrong.
Here's the man you're waiting for, the king of jazz, Louis Satchmo Armstrong.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend.
on a Tuesday edition of Early Line. We continue our coverage of the SEC Football Media Days and give our thoughts on Alabama, Mississippi State, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt. Join us 2 to 3 p.m., 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Yeah. Yeah.
Live from the 2022 SEC Football Media Days, presented by Hudco Roofing, All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
From one Heisman Trophy winner to one potential Heisman Trophy winner, Will Anderson standing right here next to us right now, and that's a big man, Jake.
Yes, it is.
So we love being out here at SEC Media Day. So a huge shout out to Hudco Roofing for helping to bring us this live coverage of the 2022 SEC Football Media Days all the way through Thursday. It's also brought to you by locally Jerry Lane and Rejuvame and 104.5's ESPN's official SEC Media Day sports betting partner, talking about DraftKings. Look, hour two, we're going to play the Brian Kelly interview. We'll play sound from players yesterday. Nick Saban about to take the podium. Keep it locked right here on Off the Bench.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to GoTrosOutdoorPower.com, GoTrosOutdoorPower.com. Go to GoTros today for all of your landscaping equipment needs, okay?
We know Tom Hart of ESPN shops there.
Yeah, we just
found that out yesterday.
We confirmed it yesterday, man. So, look, if you need any Hustler equipment, go to Louisiana's largest Hustler dealer, where they make it easy. Free delivery anywhere in the state, full access to both the parts and service departments. GoTrosOutdoorPower.com.
They're going to make it easy by delivering in the 318, the 225, 504, 337, 985, you name it, in Louisiana. As T-Bob talks about all the time, they will deliver that piece of equipment to you. But remember, Baton Rouge, Gonzales, they have showrooms for you. Walk in. Bright yellow Hustler equipment is right there. Residential, commercial, zero-turn mowers, power equipment as well. They've got it all set up. They are ready for you. You can always go online, GoTrosOutdoorPower.com, where we make it easy.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, Hunt, and Hill, the early line. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Bayou Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has $10,000 off MSRP on all new 2022 Ram Black Widow trucks in stock. All new Bayou vehicles come with a 1 million mile powertrain warranty and free delivery. If you need sales or service, the crew at Bayou is going to do right by you.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets, from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology, from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Master Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Master Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Good morning. It's 8 a.m. on Tuesday, July 19th. Your government taco forecast today in Baton Rouge expects sunny skies with a high of 93. Government taco, where our pickled onions always make a taco wet. Coming up on OTB, we continue our live coverage of the SEC Football Media Days. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN, or catch us on YouTube at the 1045 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. Hour number 2 of Off the Bench, live from the SEC Media Days in Atlanta, starts now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, P, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back. OTB. T-Bob Jake Rivers here live on studio. Shout out to Rivers, Mario, Danny, Bo Wegman, Cave Wazan, everybody working to bring you this excellent production live. It is Alabama Day. Jake, what are we? Nick Saban's about 5 minutes away?
I think so. I don't know. I don't really know what his schedule is.
He's
supposed to be. Yeah, he's supposed to be right now.
Let's see. Scheduled for 9:05
Okay,
a.m.
I thought it was. Actually, I thought it was a little bit earlier, so he's on time. Look, you don't have the process without being on time.
Yeah, that was one of my biggest problems with Coach Miles is he was someone who.
This guy.
Oh, Billy Lucci.
What's up, brother? How's it going?
You going somewhere? You want to get on?
You want to hop on? You good? You hop on? Oh, okay.
Look
there
at
we
us.
go.
We get
Perfect,
Luch right
dude.
out of the hallway.
Nice job, bro.
We just
Billy
peer
Lucci.
pressure. Just tell him to get on.
Rocking the all-white fit, dude. A sign of weight loss. You can't wear all white when you're feeling big, dude. You can only wear that when you're feeling trim.
I'm feeling big right now. Actually, this is just because I got here last night from Cabo, so I had to.
I was just about to say the white linen. I was about to ask you if you stepped off of a beach.
Pops with my tan, you know.
It
Hell
does.
yeah, dude.
It does.
How was Cabo?
It was good. It was actually really good. It was supposed to be a guy's trip, and then one of the guys' girlfriend was there on a girls' trip, so it ended up being more fun than I was expecting. Laid back.
Yeah.
Just rest. I hadn't been to the ocean in a couple of years, but
Do you still go to Squid Row?
No. The farthest
drink 40%, drink 40s in Squid Row.
The last time I was in Squid Row, I think it was with Dan Campbell. And Matt Leinart.
That continues to
Oh
be.
my God! I want to wait. So
out.
what happened? I
That
want
is
to be
on
there.
brand.
What happened with Dan Campbell, Matt Leinart, and Squid Row? So y'all were young. This was like closer to college.
No. Maybe like five, 6 years ago.
T-Bob, you remember Billy and Dan Campbell were college roommates.
Yeah,
I mean,
so
drinking beers till the sun comes out.
Yeah, it was a. It's too bad that like our man wouldn't have gotten caught him back then. Just putting cigarettes out in his hand. I thought that was the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
I was like, when did you start doing this?
Yeah.
Like, what is this? It was
What a
with the
weird
Saints.
flex.
He was
What
with
a
the
weird
Saints.
flex, dude.
Yeah.
My
just casually talking, like, yeah.
When you're a meathead, you do meathead things, and I love that about him.
I had my boy.
You know
I
this.
had a college teammate, Kyle Ridley, and he. We're at a wedding. He thought he could do that with a cigar. massive burn, gets horribly infected, and went so south so fast for him.
But no offense to your friend, he's not Dan Campbell either.
That is very true.
I mean,
Dan Campbell can put out cigarettes on his hand and be
that's right.
completely fine.
I mean, it'd be like one of us doing it casually at dinner tonight. And since when do you do this? Like, what is this thing?
We tried to go to Squid Road 2 years ago on a bachelor party, and I felt very old. I felt very old.
The furthest I make it is Nowhere Bar.
That's the start. That's where you
plenty
start.
good for me.
Go dance, go have fun right there in the water.
Playlist never changes.
Hell yeah. We found love in every time we're there, dude. So, Billy, what's up, dude? So we were just talking to Mr. College Football, Tony Barnard. We asked him, outside of Georgia and Alabama, it's kind of a wash here in the SEC. Who he picked? And, he kind of tentatively picked A&M. How are you feeling about the Aggies this year?
I get that pick, and I also get tentative. It's just going to be I think, a wild year in the SEC behind those two. I do think, though, this year a couple of them are going to contend. I don't think it's going to be the dominance that we saw last year. And to be honest, Bama wasn't – their record was dominant, but – what, LSU, A&M, Arkansas?
Yeah, there was a little.
Even Tennessee
Florida,
for 3 quarters.
Tennessee LSU, A&M, Arkansas, Florida, and one more. Auburn. We're decided in the fourth quarter.
The Auburn game was insane.
That's 5 of their 8 conference games. When has the last time that's – so I think it's going to be a complete free-for-all out behind those two. And then I'm going – if you're going to pick A&M, I get it because their talent is kind of like what you guys remember LSU's talent to be. Now, a lot of it's young, but they're not a young team.
Right.
But what do you mean? What is that?
A lot of the overwhelming, like, man, that guy's going to be a first.
Yes.
But they're still not a young team.
Right.
You look at guys like Damani Richardson, Antonio Johnson, Anaya Smith, A-Chain. They got 3 returning starters on the O-line. They're not young. But talent-wise, man, I see it. So it's going to come down to it's hard to pick those expectations on a team that doesn't return a quarterback and that replaces their entire D-line, which was the strength of their team last year. So to me, it's tough to say, okay, that's an SEC title contender. But when you really dig into the D-line, they've all played. They've all played. A couple of them are five stars that redshirted to come in with 4 others that have played a lot.
Wow. Right.
So you could start 4 guys that have played a lot, but then bring in the 2 5-star, not the true freshmen with the red shirts, and then you got that number 1 D-line class of all time. So give it a few weeks, but I worry about that early season. Miami 3 weeks in a row, Miami, Arkansas, and Dallas, and at Mississippi State. If they figure out how to win those 3, win or lose at Tuscaloosa that next week, they're a playoff contender because they're just going to get better and better. But it's hard for me to go with them with so much unknown at the most important position.
He has a lot of teams. I think we could have the same conversation. I do agree with you. A lot of talented teams, but we don't know maybe how some of the pieces will fit. But A&M certainly in that category. Billy, we had you on ESPNU. I think it was right after Max Johnson decided to transfer to Texas A&M.
Mm-hmm.
And at that time, you still thought Haynes King probably was the leader in the clubhouse to Max Johnson. Knowing Jimbo's offense like I do, Haynes King's better set up to be successful in that offense. I think Max Johnson is a really good football player. I think there's things he does really well. I just think for what I know of Jimbo's offense, maybe it's still Haynes. Have you changed at all on that, or you still think Haynes King is the leader?
I've changed a little bit because Max, the first thing Jimbo said when he got there, he's like, he's way better athlete than we thought. And then all the players were saying the same thing.
Right.
And are they going to design run him as much as they will Haynes, who runs a legit. Haynes is a unique guy. He's like 6'3". He was on with me the other day, say he's up to like 207.
Yeah.
He's still long and skinny. Runs a 4.45.
Yeah.
Haynes
he can go.
He was playing well before he got hurt.
He can really run. He just hadn't played much football.
Right.
But so he came out back in the bowl practices after that broken leg, and that's all everyone was talking about. Jimbo was telling me, the players were telling me, people I know. He was going off in the bowl practices.
Really?
So why everybody that thinks A&M just didn't want to play the bowl, they're like, they wanted to see Haynes King, and Spiller was sitting out, so Haynes and A-Chain, it's kind of like we want to get a sneak preview of this offense for next year. Not to mention get Haynes some real work.
Yeah.
But you would have been really happy about it. But, man, Max has impressed everyone. As you guys know, just the off-field or in the weight room, the leadership.
On the board. He's fantastic. I had a chance to watch film with him. I mean, he's going to know it as well as anybody, which in Jimbo's offense, I think it's maybe the most difficult offense in college football. And I mean that respectively.
Yeah,
I mean, it's just there's a lot of nuances, professional checks when it comes to coverages and blitzes and different things. So Max is always going to ace that part of it.
What's interesting, and I think it's a real competition. I think it's going to go throughout camp. And Connor Wigman is just flat out special.
Yeah.
But he's a true freshman.
Right.
And what you just said about the offense, but he is a special talent. When you watch him out there at practice, he's getting the ball out so quick.
That's what Max has in Jimbo's offense. That's the one thing that worries me is getting the ball out of his hands because, as you know, Jimbo wants it 1, 2, 3, read, get it out. And you have to be able to do that.
I'll say this: the guy that does that the best is actually Wigman.
Really,
he gets out quick. He gets to the right guy, and so that'll be fascinating. He's got that it factor to him, but Max and Haynes are going to really. Jimbo's going to trust the hell out of them, and he's always loved Haynes, as the future at that position. And then here comes Max, who blows him away right off the rip. And a lot of the players are talking about, again, this is this time of year where it's 7-on-7 work, and Max is lighting it up. And that's probably more his wheelhouse. What's interesting about everything you said about the offense, too, Evan Stewart, 5-star receiver, who is one of those guys that you guys are used to seeing in Baton Rouge. Like, they signed 2 of them. Evan came in early. True 5-star receiver.
Right.
Changes the game vertically.
Yeah.
Everyone says, "Oh, Jimbo won't do that." He's done it. We go look. You were a part of it. He needs.
He's got to have
the
that guy that can do it.
Yeah, he had J-Rock and Buster Davis, Dwayne Bowe and everything back in the day. Yeah, they'll do it.
That was before A&M was playing LSU, so I could actually root for him and like him. Then I start seeing freaking Chase and Jefferson doing it. And
well,
then
how crazy is it, though, that, like, LSU has a bit of a similar situation with, like, Joe Fouché, but, like, Max Johnson throws the game-winning touchdown against A&M. Like, has he I mean, I'm sure people have asked about it. Has him and his teammates, like, have they talked about it publicly?
Yeah, I've right when they signed him, or, a couple of DBs are on my show.
Yeah.
They come on once a week. I do, like, one-on-ones with them, and I'm like, so how do you feel just even before right when he got there? They're like, yeah, we've talked about it. And like, man, I mean, and they're still, I haven't gotten to any of them that are like joking around about it, but they're like, yeah, he's a really good player. He played a great game, and hopefully he can do that.
That's just going to be like with the way the portal is and guys going. I mean, we got
Calzada
beat
beat Auburn.
Yeah,
not necessarily with
Joe Fouché from Arkansas slid on his belly. David Basil was telling us about it. He was the first one to pick up the Golden Boot when they beat LSU.
Oh, really?
Now he's the starting safety at LSU.
Yeah.
That's how it's going to be. There's going to be stories like that all the time.
And then obviously, Billy, we'd be remiss if we didn't ask you about the press conference, right? The Jimbo presser.
We talked about it, didn't we?
Let me ask you this.
I talked with Jimbo for 45 minutes about it.
Yeah. I don't know if you can give me an answer or not. It feels very clear that Jimbo is trying to dispel this notion they paid $30 million from the class.
Yeah.
I've seen Andy Staples say that in his talks, that like talking to people, that it's in the single-digit millions what they actually. Can you give us a range or a number of what it actually took to sign the class?
Yeah, well, here's what I think. I don't know to sign the class because there are a lot of guys in that class that still don't have NIL deals, and that's not what you're reading about now, broken promise NIL deals. There are a bunch of them that don't have NIL deals. So they did not go 1 to 30, first of all. I don't think any of there's the collectives. I've heard of a couple of high-profile guys in that class that have turned down the collective because they're going after outside money.
Yeah, when you do collective, there's some things tied into there that you have to kind of not worry about, but you got to be aware of.
Yeah, so they're going for outside, like national money, like card deals and CARD deals and stuff. So it's not what you think. And when Andy said that, I was actually there when that conversation was taking place. It was me and Andy and a couple friends of mine that I had introduced him to, for the article. That number is for like what's the collective had total.
So
the
maybe
biggest
not even invested necessarily.
Yeah, the biggest, not for the roster.
Okay, yeah.
There isn't I would be shocked. I can't say this factually, but I can say it as certain as anybody else that could say it. You hear about these 7-figure deals and stuff.
Yeah.
There isn't a player at A&M even close to sniffing that yet. And I mean, that might be a bad thing. Some people might, oh, wow. But I think this imaginary bar was set about what A&M was doing, and everybody has gone out of their way to try to, not that they're going to reach $30 million, but to go to their alum. And that's what Saban was doing. Hey, A&M spending $30 million.
He was talking to that room.
And that's going on everywhere, whether it's in a giant room or behind the scenes. And everyone jumped above. And I keep telling Aggies and anyone that will listen down there, like, you guys better step it up even further, because that myth
You got to live
really
up to
hurt A&M.
That's why Jimbo's been fighting it
and
so hard.
and that and what players were expecting when they come in. And let's say you were in the class and you saw him with a new car and you're going, man, everybody got $1 million but me. No.
I got an '88 Chevy Silverado.
Yeah.
And they got Range Rovers.
That's like Dan. He was driving a truck, you can call her Betty, a white old pickup truck that he had brought to college with him, and he was driving it in New York City when he was playing for the Giants. Also lived in a trailer on Lake Pontchartrain or whatever when he was when he was playing for the Saints.
I mean, look, I already love Dan enough.
Yeah.
Like, just you're giving me more fuel here.
His last year when they won the Super Bowl, he tore his tricep, so he couldn't play.
Yeah.
But during training camp, he's like a 10, 11-year veteran on the Saints, living in a trailer park, just by himself. Wife and kids were at home wherever they played last.
Yeah.
What? Oh man, I love the Dan Campbell stories.
Simple man.
Yeah, I love it.
To go back to A&M real quick. One thing that is not talked about as much because of the collectives and all the NIL, y'all just raised $240 million for new facilities.
Yeah.
Didn't you just build new facilities? What the hell is the $240 million being spent on?
Well, one part of that is a new indoor track. That's a small. Well, it's not a small part, but part of it, because they're tearing down the indoor practice facility and track because they are hideous. When they were built 15 years ago, they were disgusting. They're disgusting now. They ugly up the landscape out there. I'm watching Aggie baseball this year, and instead of seeing Kyle Field, you see these two ugly. It looks like my buddy that played at TCU calls it Butt Crack Alley. One of the showables, because it's one building and there's about 10 feet in between and another. And it's just, they're knocking those down. New standalone academic center, weight room upgrades, new practice fields. It's going to be an 11. It's like, who is it? Is it Oregon? Is it Alabama? Is it A&M? Whoever else built. But from there, I think all that money, and you have to start going, our facilities are, there's a level to them.
That's going to be my next question.
Are guys coming for a great practice field or to lay in the
like a
bubble lockers that LSU did, or is it better just to use that money for NIL?
Because, look, when you get to the NFL in San Diego, I remember one year they're like, we're going to upgrade the game day locker room. We're like, okay, cool. They put in new carpet and gave us like an 18-inch TV. And that was like their upgrade. But in the NFL, honestly, like, you don't care. Like, we ate outside on a basketball court with a tent over the top of us. That was our cafeteria. It is.
But I feel like I've always heard the NFL facilities.
The NFL, as a player, you'd rather than put more money into the salary cap than into the facilities.
And that's the hard part that these donor bases are going to have to figure out is, do I want to do that when the guy could leave after a year because his agent tells him to, or because he's frustrated because he doesn't play, or if he doesn't pan out, or do I still want my priority points for my season tickets and all that by donating? So it's this weird tug of war, but then again, it's like if you're in the fundraising side, you have to come to the realization that your world's changing too, because I've been doing this one way for a long time, but the whole goal of facilities and everything is to win games and compete for championships and be in the top 5 and sell season tickets and suites and all that. So it's like you got to kind of reprogram on some level. And I think that's what A&M's in the process of trying to figure out, LSU and everyone else.
Last one here, Billy. Pretty fun baseball season, man.
It was.
Is it like Because, I mean, it's funny. I'm someone who's actually come to it, like, later in life, and so I've
Yeah.
really learned to love it the last few years.
So fun.
That's what I was saying. Was there kind of because I loved watching it happen in Tennessee. Was there a bit of a renaissance over there at College Station
because
this year?
A&M's got a pretty for a team that hasn't won a lot in Omaha.
Yeah.
They have a pretty storied history. I mean,
See, I didn't realize that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like LSU, you guys are a big part of that. A&M won I think a super in Baton Rouge to go to the World Series one year. They or maybe it was a regional. Ben McDonald double dipped and was one of the best. It was like Tennessee.
Yeah.
I think A&M was like 59-3.
Oh, wow.
And Ben McDonald pitched, shut him down, came back, back into the game. Like he asked him about it. It's legendary.
Next time we talked to Ben,
It was like Bumgarner in that World Series for the Giants.
Yes.
Like, it's like, how can you pitch another inning?
Yeah. And then LSU beat A&M in '93 in the World Series. It was a really good A&M team. Point being, the Slosh coming over was an amazing hire.
Yeah.
I've gotten to know
Our guy
that
Nolan
staff.
Cain.
Nolan's my guy.
I
He's
get a
so
picture
cool.
from Kristen Kane.
Oh,
They're
yeah.
winning baseball games. It's my man Luch in the
Yeah.
background, just being like, "Ha ha, we're winning. Y'all are not."
We're
right
at the
now."
game talking about Hester, like playing South Carolina, talking about you guys. But
I got my Nolan Cain jersey still.
You do. I know.
Nolan's the man.
He is the man.
And that whole staff,
Yeah.
picture a whole staff of Nolan Canes.
Right.
That personality. So it was so fun to watch just from a personal standpoint. I've become good friends with those guys.
Yeah.
But, man, it's baseball, just like LSU. It is so fun to be good at baseball. It just makes the sports year so much.
And it's
better.
only going to go up once Oklahoma and Texas get here. I mean, that's even, which it's already at the highest level. It's going to get even better.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, the College World Series this year, you know how many teams
We,
there. I
we
mean,
lost
yeah.
OU twice and beat Texas. All three of our games in Omaha were against, three of the four were OU Texas.
Yeah.
Billy Lucci, TexAgs.com, the man. Thanks so much, man.
Credit
Straight
card
straight
roulette
from
somewhere?
Cabo.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
No
I
doubt
will
about
sit
it.
out, but I will eat. I will eat, and then y'all get
So
to the
you know
credit
his card
roulette.
wasn't in there last time.
Yeah,
Your
no,
card was in,
I was,
mine, Roman's,
boys,
Peter, Doring.
Boys,
not his.
Former NFL player, big-time business owner, okay? Like, look, I'm a local
Celeb.
radio man.
Yeah.
I'm a local radio man, okay?
You can,
okay? No,
Twitter rock
no,
star. They
no.
love him.
Yes.
Local radio.
Yeah.
Yeah, if only that got you paid, right? That'd be great.
That's what I tell all my girlfriends on Instagram. all the influencers are doing this. You're not an influencer.
Yes.
Nice flex, too. All my girlfriends
Passed.
on Instagram.
Passed over
That felt
time.
like a present.
Over
Okay,
time.
All right,
present.
more off the bench next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's happening, y'all? Billy Lucci, always so much fun to catch up with him. Right now, I want to remind you, go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com. You want to join me in the murdered out minivan? You already know, black on black on black. The minivan gang, stand up. You can do that. The 2022 Sienna is actually like really unbelievable. But look, whether you're looking to buy new, you're going to buy a Toyota certified used vehicle where you still get warranty coverage and everything, or you just want to rent, okay? Go see Miss Lisa Sessions in the rental department, cheaper per day rental prices of traditional rental companies. But the bottom line is, no matter what you are looking to do, All-Star Toyota has the answer for you and your family. So I ended up in a minivan. And that's how I ended up very unexpectedly leasing a Camry, which I never would have expected, but it's worked out perfectly. So go to All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.com, All-Star Toyota of Baton Rouge.
Our coverage this week is also brought to you by Jerry Lane and Rejuvame and by 104.5 ESPN's official SEC Media Days sports betting partner, DraftKings. More from the 2022 SEC Football Media Days is coming up next.
At All-Star Toyota, you get it all. If you're in the market for an all-new Toyota vehicle, come see our friendly and knowledgeable sales team at All-Star Toyota. Located in Baton Rouge at the corner of Airline and Goodwood, we've been serving our community since 2005 by offering a large selection of new Toyota cars, trucks, and SUVs. Get behind the wheel of your dream car and take a test drive at All-Star Toyota today.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
And this year, 2020.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. We're live from Radio Row at SEC Football Media Days. Bama, Vandy, State, and the Gamecocks, they all take their turn. We'll be here 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live from the 2022 SEC Football Media Days, presented by Hudco Roofing. All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's going on, y'all? Back here live on Radio Row at the College Football Hall of Fame. It looks like, okay, yeah, I'm looking behind me right now. Nick Saban is actually up there speaking right now. I'm trying to get Mario the Brian Kelly interview I did yesterday. I don't think he's seen it yet. So we may have to push that back a segment. Jake is talking to his former partner in crime, Randy McMichael. Just a couple of old boys just living the dream, chopping up the old story. Mm-hmm. Speaking of old stories, did you see the Foster Moreau appearance on Bus with the Boys?
I did.
I was
surprised his shirt was on.
I don't know. I know. Shocking. Foster with a shirt. I mean, I don't know how to make it terribly interesting from like a reaction standpoint, or like sitting here talking about it, more than just to say that if you're an LSU fan, I think you will get a kick out of hearing the story.
Yeah, is it Leonard Fournette? Is that right?
It involves Leonard. Yeah. There's a little Jamal Adams in there. A lot of fighting.
Yes.
Fighting both out of relaying or fighting out of principle. And I would say very representative of my own experience at LSU, as it can get a little heated sometimes. And Foster gave voice to that. But it's a really good story involving some classic characters on the LSU front.
We have a real who's who going on today of media just walking around.
Yeah, it's the day. It's the Nick Day, dude.
It's the Nick Day.
It's the Nick Day. It happens every year.
We had Marty and McGee hanging out next to us.
I know. I want to see if we can get McGee on so we can talk Star Wars, but they're generally so busy. We'll see. Also, Jesse McCormick saying Lou Holtz for president. Man, I don't know why. Why is Chad talking about Lou Holtz?
I don't know. I haven't been looking at the chat.
I miss Lou Holtz. Mario, real quick, hop on the mic. Where
are we?
Have you gotten this email?
Sorry, guys.
No, it's not coming to my inbox either
Love
one.
some real-time production here.
All right. Well, then, okay, we'll figure that out.
Tell me
I was going to play
everything.
the Kelly interview, but it's not going through for some reason.
Please do that.
So we were talking about some old stories. It's like.
Did you see the Foster Moreau video on Busting with the Boys?
Which one about the fight? Oh, yeah.
Very good. Speaking of ulcers.
So, like, and so I was talking with Randy McMike. We had him on yesterday. Like, tight ends and fullbacks are basically the same person in the NFL if you're a Y.
Yeah.
Now, if you're an F like Antonio Gates, like, you're more receiver or whatever. But we were just talking about some of those Pittsburgh Steelers defenses.
Oof.
When, like, you're wondering, is James Harrison going to try to –
Is he the baddest?
Literally take my soul from me.
Yeah.
Well, it's just, like, intimidation.
That's what I mean,
He's
like, the overall package.
He's like 5'11", but he was like 285
James
and
Harrison's
rocked up.
5'11"?
Oh, he's very short.
Bro, he benches like 700 pounds.
Yeah, so that was the thing for me. Like, if I see, like, Jason Taylor out there, Jason Taylor is a better football player than I am any day of the week, but I have leverage. So I have a fighting chance. With James Harrison, that chance went out the window.
It's kind of like Aaron Donald. You're not getting any leverage on Aaron Donald.
No, so when you're
And
running
he's strong as hell.
stretch, if we'd be running stretch to James Harrison's side, and Randy would look back like, hey, because, you know, I got a responsibility to go either strong safety or go front side linebacker, but he would be like, hey, you help me before you help yourself.
Are we doing some real-time?
It looks like somebody is. I believe somebody is stealing the Heisman Trophy.
This feels
right
like,
now. It's like national.
is this like Italian job?
I feel like all the lights are about to go down, and they're gonna come back on, and it's gonna be missing.
You put on
Some
a
Ocean's 11
lanyard. You
stuff.
put on a lanyard. You look comfortable, and nobody's really going to question
Where's
it.
Danny Ocean?
Yeah, exactly. As the Heisman Trophy is being stolen in front of our face, Rivers actually could you?
Yeah. I'm gonna get.
You know, I want to get some live footage, or maybe he's polishing it. No, he's not polishing it. The trophy is out the case. All right, that's enough of that. Jesse McCormick says Harrison was the alpha among alphas.
He really was. Like, you're in a room full of alphas.
I agree with Avo. I just assumed James Harrison was like 6'5", like my entire life.
Like, I don't know what he's listed at. I really don't know, but whatever it is, it's wrong.
It says internet list him at 6 foot 245.
Oh, 6 foot?
Yeah.
So 5'11".
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
dude,
yes,
come
that
on.
is how it works. That is
Dude,
absolutely
yeah,
how it works.
I mean,
also, how do you feel about the 245 of that?
245. They do is like at least 280. I mean, how much you're 280?
I think so. I think I'm probably about 270
Yeah, he was
right
definitely
now.
wider than you,
And
had like biceps that were the size of my head.
And played till he was like 38 or
dude,
something
come on.
insane.
Those Steeler defenses, it wasn't even fair.
It was and hey Molly,
Hey
what's up?
Molly,
What's
how
going
are
on?
you?
Executive director of the Senior Bowl there. We'll talk to Jim a bit later.
So the Ravens, I was more terrified of like Ed Reed than Ray Lewis and Terrell Suggs.
From a hitting perspective?
Just from an overall football perspective.
Okay, just
there
like
was things he
just like
could
a
do.
being good at football perspective.
Like Ray was always going to be in the right spot.
Like Ed Reed was going to get you shamed in the film room.
Yeah.
Right.
But if you're talking about like just
Scary.
you got to keep your head on a swivel. Scary. Bob Sanders is one of those guys. He was a bullet.
Colt?
Yes.
Yeah.
He played the way he played football. He couldn't have done it for 10 years. That's why his career was so short. He literally sacrificed his body on every single. We used to call him the Bullet.
Bob Sanders.
I mean, we started calling strong safety off the edge Bullet Blitz because of him. And so, like, you get a blitz named after you. Like, free safety was Lynch Blitz. That's when you know you've made it. So, I mean, a couple of those
Lynch,
defenses.
like John Lynch?
Yeah, oh, yeah.
John Lynch was still in the league when you were in the league?
My last year.
Oh, wow.
But so you
I've
start.
never associated
He almost,
John Lynch
he almost
with
signed
my,
with San Diego in 08, too.
Devin Steve says that Bob Sanders' nickname was Predator.
Well, we called him the Bullet.
That's horrifying.
Yeah, Predator, that plays too. But if you're asking me Ravens or Steelers, probably going to go Steelers.
Jesse in the chat says Harrison does 300-plus dry needles at a time for recovery. 300 dry needles.
So you had him. You had Lamar
Steelers
Woodley.
scary.
You had Casey Hampton in the middle. You had Lawrence Timmons and Larry Foote at linebacker. You had R.C. and Troy Polamalu at safety. You had Ike Taylor at corner. Like, you just had Jimmys and Joes on every single level. I mean, it wasn't even fair.
Damn. I'm glad I did not have to hit those defenses. All right, we are going to go to break, and then when we get back, hopefully I can figure out, like, Google Drive or whatever and get this thing sent off. So.
Oh, we're having technical difficulties as well?
No. This is just on me. I recorded the interview on my phone, and Yeah, I recorded.
We've never had any of those.
Yeah. I recorded the interview on my phone. We just got to get it back to home base. All right, Brian Kelly.
T-Bob probably hasn't pressed send.
Off the bench with Hester and T-Bob. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
There's nothing better than tailgating, but it can be a lot of work. So why do it yourself when you don't have to? Let Revelry Sports and Entertainment set up your luxury tailgate on campus. Order what you want and just show up to party. Book your tailgate today at revelryteam.com. Revelry Sports, the official tailgate partner of LSU Athletics.
Visit Acura of Baton Rouge for attractive offers on the MDX.
My own people call me an Uncle Tom. I play music. Been wined and dined by royalty. Trying to bring people together. All people. But regardless of all that kind of stuff, I'm still Louis Armstrong.
Here's the man you're waiting for, the king of jazz, Louis Satchmo Armstrong.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare.
Charles Hanegraaff joined me and Mike Delicano for the next edition of Jimmy Ott's Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers. We'll be at Mike Anderson Seafood, Wesley at Nicholson. SEC Media Days coverage, plus our NFL preview continues. Jimmy Ott's Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Give me your attention, baby. I gotta tell you a little something about yourself. You're one of our flawless, ooh, you a sexy lady. But you walk around here like you wanna be someone else.
Live from the 2022 SEC Football Media Days, presented by Hudco Roofing. All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back to SEC Media Days. We are live here on Radio Row. Everybody's walking around, and we got one of our favorites, Mr. Jim Nagy, Executive Director of the Senior Bowl, one of the great events of the football world, a man with so many years of experience in scouting, talking football, breaking it down. Jim, what's up, dude?
Good morning, fellas. Appreciate you having me on.
What does this week look like for you, right? Like, what is kind of your goal? Why are you here? What are your goals while you're here in Atlanta for SEC Media Days?
Goals are to connect with all these senior players
and
kind of get in front of them, and hopefully at this point they know what the Senior Bowl is all about. But if they don't, try to educate them a little bit on our game. Connect with the coaches, again, just relationship maintaining. And then just, get around and do some of this stuff. Love seeing you guys every year.
Always.
And hopefully you both are in for some dinner tonight. The Senior Bowl's picking up the tab. So
Wait a minute. You said you had to be a Senior Bowl alum to make this dinner.
Yeah, but T-Bob's like honorary.
Hey, there we go, dude. There we go, dude. I'm riding on the coattails, dude.
That's what you said your podcast would be, coattails.
You just got to get in. You just got to get in the club, dude.
Hey, I mean, I wasn't working for the Senior Bowl when either of you guys came
Okay.
out.
Yeah,
So had I been, T-Bob would have been in the Senior Bowl. So.
Absolutely, dude.
You've done a lot of really nice things there for the Senior Bowl. My year, they didn't have a running back coach for the 49ers yet. So they just didn't have one. So we were kind of sharing with the receivers, like in there with the receivers or whatever. And like me, Peyton Hillis, and I forget the other, Tashard Choice, Matt Forte, we're all there. But me and Peyton were trying to transition from running backs to fullbacks in the league without really a coach. So we're trying to coach each other up. And then you switch coaching staffs for the day or whatever, which is great. The Raider staff had Tom Rathman. So we're like, wait a minute, we don't have a coach, and they've got the West Coast fullback of all time, Tom Rathman, being their coach. I was jealous. And Herbie Lane was the head coach of the Raiders at the time.
Well, I love hearing from you guys that played in the game and some of your past stories. The fact that Senior Bowl used to have two-a-days back in the day.
Oh yeah.
Two-a-days.
So I met Moose Johnston. Talk about all-time fullbacks.
Oh, yeah.
I met Moose Johnston in the spring. He came to the HBCU Combine thing we had in Mobile this year, the first ever HBCU Combine event.
Yeah, I remember
and he was scouting for the USFL because Moose is basically running the personnel for the USFL now. And he told me, I said, you played in the game, right? He goes, yeah. He goes, worst week of my life. I'm like, whoa, what are you talking about here? I'm like, please don't share that with anyone. Like, what are you talking about? He goes, no, Jim. He's like, it was myself and Dave Meggett were the only. Remember Dave Meggett from the Giants?
Absolutely.
He goes, Meggett and I were the only two running backs on our roster. He's like, a couple guys got hurt or agents pulled him out of the game. They didn't replace him. So literally, he's like, that year we had a bunch of really good edge rushers, including Derek Thomas.
Ooh, wow.
He goes, so we're doing one-on-one pass pro. We're doing one-on-one pass pro again and getting our butt whooped by Derek Thomas. We're the only two. He goes, and then they brought in on Friday. They bring in. Eric Ball was a running back at UCLA, played in the league for a little bit with the Bengals. They bring in Eric Ball on Friday, and when they got to game time, they were rotating each other in and out of the game. And when Ball would try to come in, they wouldn't let him come in because he didn't go through the week of work and getting his butt whipped by Derek Thomas all week.
Hey,
you didn't earn this.
You didn't get baptized by Derek Thomas all week. We did, so you're not coming in the game. So I say all that to say what Jim has done for the game. And he's humble, and he's not going to take any credit. But what him and his staff have done for the Senior Bowl, I mean, it was already a great event, but they have made it the best possible event that it can be.
Yeah.
And like you and IT have talked about it, every single year we're going to be there.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, and then this last year, I'm out there watching practice, and I see this, little redhead dude with a nose bar face mask and no gloves, and he looks like he's 270, but he's kind of locking up people in one-on-ones. I'm like, okay, I can tell this dude's a little thrown off. I love him. Then I learned his name is Cole Strange, and then he becomes a first-round pick.
Yep.
Belichick. So where did you – because so much of this is about scouting the elite talent wherever it is and putting that talent field together. How did you come about finding Cole Strange?
Yeah, for the small school guys, we really go off a lot of all-conference lists and all-American lists.
Okay.
Because again, if you're a real NFL player and you're playing in the SoCon, FCS level,
should
D2,
dominate.
D3, like you should be on an all-conference list at least, right?
Yeah.
So like even the year before, we had Quinn Miners from Wisconsin Whitewater, Division III school, who ended up going in the third round. But Cole's thing was we put on his tape against Kentucky. And they had a good front last year. They had Josh Pascal was a high pick. They had a couple other guys, Marquand McCall. They had
he was a hell of a nose. Yeah.
They had some draftable guys on their defensive front, and Cole Strange wore them out.
Hell yeah.
And we got done with that game, and I was watching the tape with a couple of our scouting assistants, and I looked over my shoulder. I'm like, this dude's getting an invite.
Yeah.
So like we put in a couple of SoCon games just to say we looked at a couple more games.
Yeah.
But what he did at Kentucky that day, like I knew he belonged. And yeah, to see him fast forward, he kicks ass our week, and then goes through the draft process, but to go in the first round out of Tennessee Chattanooga was pretty awesome.
Unreal.
And you're right, like no gloves, crossbar face mask, totally throwback old school
A person
dude.
with no gloves. Yeah. I mean, you can't. It's like, you don't mess. That guy's story. He's something's going on in that.
Yeah.
Hey, another small school guy that we were impressed with was Trevor Penny,
Yeah.
who the Saints
Now,
ended up selecting
New Orleans
in the
Saints.
first round. That practice that we had to go inside, I'm watching Trevor Penning, and he's locking up Ohio State edge rushers, Oklahoma edge rushers. I'm like, who is this guy? But not only locking them up, Jim, he was finishing them. Like, it almost came to blows a couple times because he's like, I'm going to finish you.
Yeah.
And from somebody who's coming from northern Iowa, I can appreciate that. Like, he's like, look, I got to prove that I'm an alpha out here, right? I played at northern Iowa. I'm trying to get drafted in the first round. You might not like it. We might push each other after the play, but I didn't hate his personality there on the field that day.
No, and it's consistent with what the Northern Iowa tape looked like. You talk about you want small school players to dominate at their level. I mean, they have to stand out, and he did that. I mean, he killed people. It was hard to evaluate because he didn't have to play with any technique. He just came off the ball and mauled dudes. And yeah, it got. I mean, chippy's not even the right word. I mean, he had Perrion Winfrey, who ended up being the MVP of the Senior Bowl game, had a couple sacks. This came out after the fact. Perrion told me after the game that he confronted Trevor Penning in the hotel, like not in the heat of battle on the field. Like that happens all the time, right?
Yeah.
He pulled him
Normally
aside.
it stays out there.
He pulled him aside in the hotel and was like, "Bro, you better chill out."
Yeah.
Because we're gonna come to blows,
Right.
like for real. And I asked Penning about it, and he was like, "Yeah, man." He's like, "I didn't expect that."
Yeah.
But so I mean, bringing it back home to Louisiana and in Saints fans, I mean, that guy's going to be a really good player for the New Orleans Saints.
Okay, so let's talk Tigers then. It seems like LSU, even last year, right, 6 and 7, but 11 players drafted. Who's on the radar?
Yeah,
this year for the Senior Bowl?
guys, I looked this up yesterday. Since 2017, we've had 22 LSU guys in the game. Which the only school with more is Alabama, and they only had 20. They had one more. They had 23.
Yeah.
So that, I mean, obviously you guys know the talent there. But, yeah, we've had a really cool pipeline of LSU guys coming over. This year, like Jenkins, the wide receiver.
Yeah.
I love Ali Gay. I can't wait to see what Ali looks like coming off the injury.
Yeah.
Got to connect with Mike Jones Jr. down here.
Bro, he's
going to take our job one day.
Is he?
Oh, my God.
He's
He's unbelievable. Phenomenal.
Great.
Okay.
Phenomenal.
Yeah, no, he was. And again, I told him, like, we thought he was going to graduate a couple years ago at Clemson.
Right.
So we can get the junior graduates.
Right.
So we'd evaluated him 2 years ago. We would have invited him 2 years ago. He's just that undersized space backer that can match up in coverage. Like, he's got a cool skill set.
Yeah,
I was going to ask you, he
gonna
played nickel at Clemson.
Yep.
I mean, on CFP team.
Yep.
But he wanted to prove he could play Mike linebacker. He's 225 pounds. I get that. But I've got to imagine NFL scouts will love the fact that he played nickel at Clemson on a really good football team.
No question. No, I asked him yesterday, what are you weighing? He's like 228, 229. And I think he was concerned a little bit about what if that wasn't big enough. I'm like, there's guys that did. I mean, Darius Leonard, the great linebacker for the Colts, talking to him this fall, he was dropped down into like 217, 215.
Debo, I mean, how big is Debo Jones?
Yeah, I'm saying, same thing. I mean, he's not going
to
be.
How big is he? Like 220, 225? So, no, Mike's plenty big. Yeah, the coverage stuff at Clemson, people are going to go back to that tape for sure just to see how he's used. But it's good. It was actually a really mature decision on his part to understand that, okay, like, they're going to see me as this.
Mm-hmm.
If I go to LSU, I can add this to my toolbox.
Yep.
Right.
And so, yeah, he's going to be in a really good spot with the draft.
Jim Nagy, Executive Director of the Senior Bowl, man, cannot wait to get back out there again next year. And, we'll be running into you, I'm sure, somewhere along the line the next few months. Thank you so much for stopping by, man.
Yeah, guys, hopefully dinner tonight. I'll see you guys later.
Yeah, dude.
I'm with you.
in, dude.
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Don't tempt me with free food. I guess, well, I don't know if anything said anything about free, but
well, he said for Senior Bowl alums it was free.
Yeah,
I don't know about
you know, but honorary. You heard it from, honorary alum.
Honorary gets you an appetizer.
We're going to close out the hour next here on OTB.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to GEAUXroof.com, GEAUXroof.com, 927-8300, 927-8300. No, Brian, the Braves are not playing. Jake's very disappointed right now. But you'll never be disappointed when you work with Go Roof, okay? You go to GEAUXroof.com, and you get that free professional estimate, so you don't pay anything to figure out exactly where the health of your roof stands. Then, after you get that free estimate, you figure out exactly what you got to do, and you make a fully informed decision about what to do next, okay? Whether that's big problem, no problem, small problem, go to GoRoof.com today and let them fix your roof. Everybody's licensed, bought, insured, beautiful new roof every single time. I told Bud to come on at 10. So, okay, yeah, sorry, I forgot to tell him. GEAUXroof.com, 978-8300. Again, is that number. Any roofing problem, storm season is here. Go figure it out. Go to Go Roof today. Roof's up.
In times of need, get a full list of phone numbers, websites, and other important emergency information on the Demco Stormwatch page at 1045ESPN.com.
If home is where the heart is, a roof is a shield. That's why for over 25 years, South Louisiana always turns to Garcia Roofing and Sheet Metal. For more information, visit GarciaDidMyRoof.com.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Gulf Coast Bank and Trust is giving our customers the power to bank anywhere, anytime during this challenging event. And we're right there with you. Our mobile banking app is a smart way to manage your money and time. Gulf Coast Bank and Trust, the bank that cares about you.
For over 53 years, customers have been heading to Happy Town for the Corval Toyota experience. Why? Because they choose to get an outstanding price and amazing customer service. Want the same and get treated like family? Then Corval Toyota in Opelousas is the dealership for you. Corval vehicles have been cruising around Acadiana for 5 decades. Corval Toyota is here to stay, and we want to keep you rolling. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
Follow us on Twitter at 1045ESPN to cast your vote in the Citizens Bank and Trust poll of the day. Vote daily inside Off the Bench, Hunt, and Hill, the early line. And after further review, Citizens Bank and Trust brings you the poll of the day via Twitter at 1045ESPN.
Service Mastery Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact Service Mastery Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. Service Mastery Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her Auctioner primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an Auctioner care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioner Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana.
Tuesday edition of Hunt and Hill. Have a real good feeling what this LSU baseball team is going to look like next year. And the SEC Media Days talk continues. Hunt and Hill, noon to 2 weekdays on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Yes.
Look at here. They said, please turn it down. I said, just turn around.
Live from the 2022 SEC Football Media Days, presented by HUDCO Roofing. All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back live here at Radio Row, SEC Media Days. Nick Saban just got done talking. It's popping off. People are rolling around. You can feel the electricity in the air, and we got a really good hour 3 coming up for you next. We're going to start with Bud Elliott from 247, talk a little Cruton, a little college football, just had Jim Nagy. Mario is in possession of the Brian Kelly interview, so I got to sit down with Brian Kelly for 8 minutes yesterday. Jake is actually leaving for a few minutes right now as he is going to interview Nick Saban, so we'll get some live boots on the ground Nick Saban reaction as well. Look, man, come hop in the chat, youtube.com/1045 ESPN. We could still do a little OTB mailbag / ask to the bench next hour as well. If you want to get your questions in, get them in there. And then, look, while you're there, hit the like button, please, the algorithmic gods that rule our existence. And remember, we want to give a huge thank you to HUDCO Roofing for helping to provide this coverage all the way through Thursday. It's also brought to you locally by Jerry Lane, Rejuvame, and 1045 ESPN's official SEC Media Day sports betting partner, DraftKings. Come out here. So thank you to all those guys for making this happen. Again, stick around. It's going to be a banger. Hour 3 here live from the Senior Bowl. T-Bob, Jake Rivers, everybody else hanging out with you. Keep it locked. Hour number 3 of OTB next.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Go to, as I pull it up, go to Patient Plus Urgent Care, patientplusuc.com. If only I was at home with my broken pinky, I would have popped into Patient Plus, probably feeling way better than I am right now. Look, the coolest part is you make a digital profile with Patient Plus, right? And then it's so easy to sign in. All the rigmarole is taken out of it. The technology that they have, whether it is just the systems to create your profile or the actual rooms that you go back to with the doctors, the facilities are going to blow you away, y'all. It's why they're blowing up all over the place. It's why they've been so successful. 8 locations, more opening up around the corner. Patient Plus Urgent Care. Go to patientplusuc.com. Again, it's patientplusuc.com. And look, if you have occupational medicine needs, okay, a business, go check out the Mid-City location. Your one-stop shop for all your occupational medicine needs. Hour 3 of OTB next.
There it is, the extra mile. On the border of expected and extraordinary. For those willing to go further. Like vans customized for work or play. With safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
Serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm for a lifetime.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but 2 NMEA-certified techs. Family-owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years, front-to-back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to fronttobackboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front to Back Boat Service.
Visit Acura of Baton Rouge for attractive offers on the MDX.
My own people call me an Uncle Tom. I play music. Been wined and dined by royalty. Trying to bring people together. All people. But regardless of all that kind of stuff, I'm still Louis Armstrong.
Here's the man you're waiting for, the king of jazz, Louis Satchmo Armstrong.
Good morning, everybody. It is 9 a.m. on Tuesday, July 19th. Your government taco forecast today in Baton Rouge expects sunny skies with a high of 93. Government taco, where our pickled onions always make a taco wet. Coming up on OTB, we continue our live coverage of the SEC Football Media Days, and T-Bob sits down with LSU head coach Brian Kelly. You can follow today's show on Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok at OTB_ESPN. Or watch us on YouTube at the 104.5 ESPN channel and subscribe for daily content. OTBOT, live from the SEC Media Days in Atlanta. Start now.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Jacob Hester and T-Bob Hebert.
Yeah.
Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob.
Hey, they said I got to come off the bench.
All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. Yo, yo, yo.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome in. Hour number 3 of OTB live from Radio Row. Let's dive right in. I got Bud Elliott with me here from 247 Sports, a man who came up in the Florida State game, now national, host of the Cover 3 podcast, which is CBS's official college football podcast. We got Bud, Chip Patterson, Tom Fernelli, Danny Cannell. Absolutely awesome, man. A great podcast. And also had probably the funniest tweet from all of Media Days yesterday, as he had an adult man sitting cross-legged, willing to be videoed while sitting cross-legged, which to me it was just inherently funny in a lot of ways. And then he got Lane Kiffin to sign a mustard bottle or something. Bud, what's up, dude?
What's going on, man? When is the last time you sat cross-legged?
Okay, so in the comfort of my own home, you know, sometimes I'm on the floor with the girls playing with toys and stuff. I'll hit a cross-legged. You would be hard pressed to find me in a public forum, I think, sitting cross-legged.
I would agree. Like, maybe if you got to put a laptop on your lap and you don't have room to stretch the legs
Even
out.
that looks it looks funny, dude.
Yeah, like I just like, it's got to be like daddy day at preschool. Other than that, I'm thinking no.
So, okay, Bud. So I got a lot that I want to talk about because I do want to talk about recruiting. But before that, man, you still run the Nolecast?
I do.
Okay, so Florida State. LSU. It's interesting. I haven't really started to prep for it yet, so I don't really know much about the current state of Florida State. How are we feeling?
I'm really excited to see this game. I've been diving into LSU some. I do a lot of the betting content for CBS as well.
Yeah.
And LSU has been a big moneymaker for me, both for and against. Like I took UCLA last year on the alternate line to blow them out. And that was solid. But I also had a little piece of LSU when they won it in 19, or 20 rather. So they both ways, right? I just feel like I've had a good beat on LSU, and I feel like both fan bases come into this game with some confidence, and maybe justifiably so. I look at LSU, I'm like, man, that D-line might be really nasty.
Good, dude.
Like if they get quarterback somewhat okay, I guess there's questions about first game continuity and all that stuff because you are running a different offense. I did love what Denver Rock ran at Cincinnati, by the way. Like I thought the DC hire LSU made was great, but at the OC,
but you didn't like. Yeah, and it's a very familiar hire, at least for Brian Kelly. Him and Denver Rock have done this multiple times. It was interesting. We talked to Denver Rock about this the other day, and he talked about how he almost had to go to Cincinnati for himself, where he felt like he needed to prove that he could Or he needed to prove that he could do it on his own, but he also wanted to be able to do stuff on his own.
Sure.
But you're saying that you didn't come away terribly impressed with the Cincinnati time.
Yeah, no, I didn't think it was that creative. I'm interested to see what he does at LSU. In FSU, he'll see a pretty experienced defense. I think that'll be the strength of the football team, particularly along the defensive interior. Robert Cooper is not likely to be like a top draft pick, but he's a very good college tackle. He's just a little sawed off, but he's a he's a fifth-year guy. He's 320. Plays a good shade nose for them. And then Fabian Lovett, I think is probably like a top 100 type pick. I don't know if he's going to be a first rounder, but he'll be a day one, day two type guy. Transfer they got from Mississippi State about 2 years ago. He's really developed into a guy for them. So they're going to be very good up the middle. Both linebackers return. They also took the top linebacker in the American Conference, and Tatum Bethune from UCF. And I think the secondary is pretty solid. Like that, I think they really like what they have defensively.
And that's interesting because all of LSU's question marks kind of lie on the offensive side of the ball, at least those important ones. Like probably the best group on the team are the wide receivers, obviously. But, I mean, major questions at running back. Like you don't know who that's going to be. Questions all over the offensive line where they actually have a sneaky amount of experience. I don't know how much talent they have. Right. And then the quarterback position, the most important position. Who knows what's going to end up happening there. So, I mean, you look at the last few years for Florida State, and obviously, like, I grew up, our age, like, Florida State was the school, dude.
Sure.
Peter Warrick back in the day, Bowden and everything. Like, they were just so cool, so good every single year. It's been really rough as of late. But it sounds like you believe that this year may be a step forward, a step back to form a bit.
Yeah, well, I don't think they're going to be a great team by any shakes. I mean, I think my power ratings, I have them like 24th.
Okay, like a top 25 would be a step back in the right direction.
Right. They just happen to play a slate of really good quarterbacks. Like LSU will probably have, the 9th best quarterback they face this year. In the ACC, they have to play Van Dyke, Armstrong, Devin Leary, Sam Hartman. They also have Anthony Richardson at Florida, depending on how you feel about them. Dracovic at Boston College, who probably would have been in the draft last year had he not broken his leg.
Yeah.
I don't think their win total is going to be very high because they have to play so many quality quarterbacks. But they seem to be improving somewhat every year. Probably not to the pace that FSU fans would want. I think Norvell came in. He had a very difficult circumstance because the world shut down basically right when he got hired with all the COVID stuff. So it put him a little bit behind the 8 ball in recruiting. And basically everybody who was hired, obviously, in that 2020 cycle was put behind the 8 ball a little bit. And the best guy so far is probably your boy at Arkansas. But
Pittman?
Right. But
yeah.
Even those guys are not they're not winning the West or seriously threatening for it. And recruiting-wise, they're just now starting to pick it up. So we'll see how it goes there. It's a pretty veteran team. It's if you had to play them, you'd probably want to play them later in the year than earlier just because they do return so much.
So what about then when we're talking about the state of Florida and recruiting? Right now it just feels like, it feels a bit like the Wild. I mean, everything's the Wild West, but especially in Florida, there are like major monetary battles being waged. And you got Billy Napier coming in with his giant staff, his game-changing coordinator, new investment with Cristobal going down in Miami. There's an arms race. How do Florida State fans feel about the kind of dynamics of Florida college football right now?
I think they feel a little worried about it because their staff does not have the new coach smell anymore.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah,
and Napier's staff does. Now, it's not really been super effective so far. Mario is kicking his butt in the state of Florida recruiting to date. And I think that'll probably it's a gap that'll probably widen this week or next week. They got a couple other kids.
Really?
We'll jump in the boat. They have a chance to get the top 2 offensive tackles in America committed within the next month.
How much of that is Ruiz and just insane investments that he's making?
Miami is playing for keeps. They're very serious about it. It's they're not playing around.
It's like Miami's always wanted to pay players, and now they're like, okay, let's go.
LSU beat them on Jaylen Brown.
Yeah, that was big.
So and Jaylen Brown's a really fast kid. I think Miami prioritized Andy Jean a little bit, but it's not to say they don't like Jaylen Brown. Certainly, I think a lot of people in the state do. That was a big one.
Okay, and so talking about LSU recruiting a bit, because LSU fans were on the verge of their own melt June 30th, right? I mean, you're sitting there in the 40s, all the top. It's a weird year in Louisiana, where you were never going to get 3 of the top 5. Arch was never going to go there. Holstein was never going to go there. Osbury was never going to go there. And then you look down the list, you're like, wait, where? None, and then you lost the safety to Texas. So people were melting. Then LSU rattles off all the D-line commits, Jaylen Brown, a couple great running back commits, and now they're back at the top 10. People feel like they've kind of calmed down. on the recruiting circles, what's the view of Brian Kelly and his staff?
I think he's probably a little bit of a step below like a Saban or a Kirby. The best coaches in this sport who end up killing in the recruiting are the guys who are just maniacal recruiters, right?
Yeah.
Like Saban is obsessed with recruiting. Kirby is obsessed with player acquisition. We just talked about how well Miami's doing. Mario's obsessed. You have to live, eat, breathe it all the time. I'm not saying those guys don't golf, but you really have to be all in on it. But yet, it's LSU, and I think there is something to be said for just competent management. Right now, look, they got a title under Ed O. They also, had some other issues.
Bro, Les Miles played for a title with his players. You could say that he won one with Saban's, but he played for one. I was talking to Roman Harper about this morning. I'm like, bro, if Coach Miles could play for a title, Brian Kelly long term should be a fantastic hire.
Exactly. Yeah, my wife's an LSU alum. She's like, babe, this is a good hire. And I was like, babe, this is the guy that I threw out on cover 3. I was like, well, we know that Scott Woodward wants to go for a big name, or at least that's the industry thought. It's like, why not Brian Kelly? Why not kick those tires and say, hey, there are certain kids that, I went to Florida State. It's not a great academic school, okay? So, what I'm about to say is not a shot at LSU.
Oh, bro, don't worry. I don't think any of us have any. Yeah.
There are some kids you can get into school at LSU that you're not even going to bother applying at Notre Dame. And that gives you a wider pool of athletes that you can recruit. And so if you're Brian Kelly, it's why not take that shot? You're probably not going to coach for 30 more years. You may have 10 or 15 left, I guess, depending on how old is Brian Kelly? Is he one of those guys? Okay, sure.
So
right?
to me,
this is probably his last big stop.
Yes, this is him pushing it all in, saying, I got 10 years to try to do this thing.
I mean, you can get a different caliber of athlete at LSU than you can at Notre Dame
for
the most part. There are very few kids who have that athleticism combo and the grades combo you can get in on the defensive line, particularly to play at Notre Dame.
Yeah, and I mean, again, I keep going back to this, but I don't think there's any greater commentary on at least Kelly's perceived notion of what the ceiling is at Notre Dame and what the ceiling is at LSU. I mean, think about leaving a playoff adjacent team for a team that went 6-7, finished last in the West, and then you join a conference with Kirby Smart and Nick Saban. I mean, it's crazy, bro. It's crazy. But he thinks, that maybe it's a path to him finally getting that final piece of the resume puzzle that he just doesn't have right now. In terms of okay, let's talk one question Notre Dame then really quick, because what are they? They're 2 right now in the 247 composite, I think. Think they'll finish in there? Will Notre Dame finish in the top 5? Does Marcus Freeman have that much juice to him right now?
Top 5 would be interesting. I think in order to get them to top 5 and stay at top 5, they probably would have landed or needed to land Dante Moore, the quarterback who chose Oregon 2 weeks ago. Dante Moore, our number 2 player in the country in 24/7 Sports. Really, really good quarterback. Sort of, I don't want to say he is Bryce Young, but the repetitive delivery, the smoothness, and yet the velo is also there, right?
Yeah.
It just, some of those guys, just like the pitchers, have that easy velo. It's just okay, it looks smooth. It's not a violent. Knows where to go with the ball. Very accurate. That's a good get for Oregon. I don't think Notre Dame will finish top 5, but they'll come close. They're doing a nice job. Marcus Freeman has a lot of juice on the trail. It's going to be interesting to watch.
So, in the sports world, no take is ever left unsaid, right?
Sure.
Eventually, everything will be covered, especially when it's a big name, big story. And it was interesting. The news cycle came for Arch Manning a bit here recently, where one guy's like, I watch film, and I don't think
a guy who was not at the Elite 11, by the way. Mike Farrell's like, Arch Manning didn't go to the Elite 11. You know who else didn't go to the Elite 11? I was there. I didn't see Mike Farrell there. So he's just running his mouth from his basement.
Yeah. I mean, basically, yes. And then actually, that was on Jake Crane's right here. That was on y'all's show, dude.
And then Caleb Williams called him out.
And then everybody else. Oh, what did Caleb Williams say?
He's like, bro, nobody wants to go on your podcast just because you make up these fake takes.
But okay, so I was going to ask you because my reaction to it was okay, regardless of the film, in my experience, coaches love bloodlines. And when you're talking about talent evaluation, it's such an inexact science. You're trying to cling onto a life raft of anything that you can that can be an indicator. And you know what? That last name is a pretty damn good indicator so far about how you're going to be a quarterback. So, I get it, dude.
I mean, these people rigged the NFL draft. You don't think they're going to find a way to get Arch Manning to succeed? Like Chargers, Giants, yes.
Yeah, straight up, dude.
Look, Arch Manning is a really good prospect. Is he as good as Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields? I don't know that he's quite that level, but the idea that he is rated where he is solely because of his name, I think is really pretty crazy.
Yeah.
I mean, the kid is very athletic. He does not have much around him at Newman at all. Like he's running for his life pretty often.
Yeah.
And I don't know that if you were to put like a Dante Moore or Jackson Arnold or whoever else you want to put in there, Walker Howard from last year, I don't think that those guys would have done much better given the talent he has around him, especially when they step up and play some different schools that have a little more talent. There's not a lot to work with there at Newman.
Yeah, like I did see one of his games. He was being judged by, they're going against like St. Thomas or like St. They got way more than what Newman's bringing to bear. What about last one here? What about Walker Howard? Because the LSU quarterback room is very interesting this year. And honestly, Garrett Nussmeier's still very interesting. Does Miles Brennan, the senior, take it? Jaden Daniels. We'll all wait and see. But like a lot of people, they're like, okay, cool. But we cannot wait to see Walker Howard. How did you rate him coming out?
That's kind of where I am too.
Yeah.
I'm not a believer in Jaden Daniels. I was at that Elite 11 finals that he was at, that Rattler was at, and those guys, and it felt more like a good regional than a national final, to be honest. And granted, we had Lawrence and Fields the prior year, so we were a little spoiled.
Yeah.
That cycle, but I do think Walker Howard is the goods.
Really.
And I think it's also notable. Where was Walker Howard going to flip to if he was going to flip when Edo left?
Was it going to be Alabama?
Notre Dame.
Yes.
That is who Brian Kelly really loved.
Okay.
And so I think there's that connection there that's big to me. Like Brian Kelly wanted this guy badly.
Yeah, he got his guy.
Yeah.
He got his guy anyway. He just got a different school. So there's always been an interest there. But I can't thank you enough, man. I'm so pleased to meet you, and we'll definitely I'll be bothering you and hitting this up in the future. And and let's get back together before that LSU Florida State game.
Let's do it, man. See you down there.
Hell yeah, bro. Hell yeah. Host of the Cover 3 podcast, one of college football's biggest podcasts out there. Also, the Nolecast, 247 Sports, CBS Sports, at Bud Elliott 3 on Twitter. All right, when we get back here on OTB, let's play that Brian Kelly sit down from yesterday. Keep it locked. 104.5 ESPN.
OTB, OT.
Go to Golf Suites off of Segan Lane. Just opened up, okay? Affordable. You want to go play with your friends, with your partners, go have a good time, maybe with the wife, a little date night. You go to Golf Suites. You're in their beautiful little bay. It's a driving range off the ground. It's very reminiscent of real golf. And they have that PGA TrackMan technology, right? So you've got like a TV, and it perfectly tracks your shots, and you can play all kind of mini games, but you can also play courses from around the world. And it was shocking to me when I was over there playing just how quickly it really felt like you were just playing around with the buddies, dude. It's some of the most fun. And so the difference is, though, you don't have to walk around, and then you get beers. You got a full menu. They stay open until 1 a.m. on the weekend. It's only $35 for an hour. Peak times of the weekend, $20 on Tuesday. Go to the brand new Golf Suites off of Segan Lane today. More OTB next.
Our coverage this week is also brought to you by Jerry Lane and Rejuvame, and by 104.5 ESPN's official SEC Media Days sports betting partner, DraftKings. More from the 2022 SEC Football Media Days is coming up next.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals, but many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed contractors are working outside the licensing requirements. Working as a contractor in Louisiana requires a license for the company doing the work. The Louisiana State Licensing Board for Contractors wants to help you get licensed to allow you to conduct work legally. It's not difficult to get the license. We can help you. Go to lacontractor.org for more information. Licensed contractors, it's the law.
Gulf Coast Office Products is a nationally recognized Savin office equipment dealer based right here in Louisiana. Over 100 employees strong, Gulf Coast has the boots on the ground to support all vertical markets from education, engineering, legal, and finance. With the latest in office technology from desktop to production segment units, Gulf Coast and Savin have the perfect fit for you. Call 225-756-2644. That's 756-2644 for Gulf Coast Office Products.
This is a house call. This is a follow-up appointment. This is a diabetes checkup. This isn't just more convenient care, it's more advanced care. This is innovating healthcare at Louisiana's #1 hospital, Ochsner.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
On a Tuesday edition of Early Line, we continue our coverage of the SEC Football Media Days and give our thoughts on Alabama, Mississippi State, South Carolina, and Vanderbilt. Join us 2 to 3 p.m., 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
And you can dance for inspiration. Come on, come on, come on. I'm waiting. Get into the groove, boy, you got to prove you're to.
Live from the 2022 SEC Football Media Days, presented by Hudco Roofing. All-Star Toyota presents Off the Bench with Hester and T-Bob. ESPN Baton Rouge, New Orleans, Alexandria, and 1130 The Tiger.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Off the Bench, 104.5 ESPN here, live SEC Media Days. I am with the man of the hour. I guess this will play in the future, but right now, we're about to kick things off, Coach. You are about to kick things off, kick off this whole ordeal. I think we were talking this morning, so it's something you haven't done, since the Big East days? Yeah. So it's been a little minute, man. How are you feeling? You got any pregame nerves or anything, or is this all is what it is?
Well, because I'm now in Louisiana, I think, everybody is assuming that I'm going to get all my words correctly, but I'm going to mess up a couple of words here and there.
Yeah.
But it's really just getting familiar with our roster, because most of my time has been recruiting.
Yep.
Because when you think about it, your time is about, putting a roster together and then going back out on the road and recruiting. So I just want to be really familiar with all my guys and get the pronunciation right of everybody on the team.
Well, and that is one of the more interesting parts about all this, Coach, is it's an interesting group. They got brought to SEC Media Days, right? It's kind of rare that there's not a senior in there. It's some younger guys that are going to be asked to step up. What went into deciding who? Because this is a great event. I mean, this is something that will stick with them. I'll never forget doing it, the rest of their lives. What goes into deciding who gets to come along?
Yeah. So these guys all had the kind of traits that I was looking for to carry us through this transition.
Okay.
We asked them to do some things for us to help us in this transition, whether it be, hey, be that guy that's accountable, on time, has really good habits, so you can model and others can model after you. And so regardless of what they've done on the field, I needed some really good representatives of what we wanted to do in the program.
Yeah.
And these three guys really epitomized it. Mike has been a great vocal leader for us. BJ does it by action every day, in and out of the classroom. And Jack is just such a hard worker and, a guy that people want to be attracted to. So each one of them kind of does it differently, but they all have those kind of traits that I wanted others to be modeled after.
Well, and it's interesting, you keep talking about habit building, and it's very obvious that, you put a lot into the process, right? And I was always fascinated with like the daily wellness check thing, because you even said, it's as much as it is about the information, it's about the accountability of doing it and creating a level of expectation. Few months in now, like you said, you've kind of been having to be all over the place. How do you feel that that building of the process is going?
It's been really good. So, everybody has a process, right? It's what your systems are within that process. And so anybody can say, I got a process, but it's the constant application of that every single day that separates the good from the great. And I've been really proud of these guys. Their attention to that constant application has been really good, which tells me a lot about the program slipped, but it was not in a position where this couldn't come back quickly, because there's so much pride and tradition in LSU football. So this just needed to get back to where it really had been built to by so many others before them. And so just getting them back into the standards that so many are used to, and it can happen quickly.
Well, and that is what's kind of fascinating. I know you don't care about this, but on the media side, this is like kind of what we talk about. But like, I look around, I see a Texas who had a down year, and a USC, and they're being they're in the preseason top 25, and I do kind of find it shocking that LSU, with all that tradition and everything, and then adding the winningest active coach in all of college football. I mean, y'all are kind of coming from like an underdog standpoint here. Do you kind of enjoy that?
Yeah, I think. I think there's a couple of things, right? The uncertainty of the quarterback position is one thing.
Yeah.
I think so much turnover within the program when we only had about 36, 37 scholarship players.
Yeah.
I think people wonder about, how is the transfer portal, because you were so active, how do they mesh together? All of those things. But we were very intentional in all those. We took a lot of Louisiana guys that wanted to be at LSU. So, yeah, we're fine with that. It's not where you start, it's where you finish, right?
Exactly.
So I think we're fine where we are, and we'll just go play and we'll let it figure it out.
I actually got a great Joe Fouché story today from one of the Arkansas radio guys. Apparently, after Arkansas kicked the game winner last year, you can see a player run over to the Golden Boot and hit a belly slide and pick that thing up, and it was Joe Fouché. Oh, yeah. And now he's wearing the purple and gold. What's the transition been like for all the transfers? As, again, like you said, a concerted effort, it seemed like, to welcome to the fold people who either because they weren't offered or for whatever reason went to go elsewhere and now come back home.
Well, a couple of things, right? One, certainly we wanted really good football players. We wanted character. We wanted guys that fit what we were looking for. And, Brooks and Fouché, both from Arkansas, SEC experience, have played in big games, have played, this caliber of football. And they wanted to be here at LSU. They wanted to be part of this transition turnaround. So when you put all those things together, we're going to roll out some guys that have played big SEC games, that love LSU and have the talent to come in and step in and play for us right away.
And we were talking to Jacoby and Guillory the other day, and it seems like it's been common with everybody who talked about it. It's Mike or anybody, like the culture, right? Everybody's talking about the culture improving and just how solid things are. And a lot of that is being tied back to Jake Flint and the strength and conditioning staff. I saw some before and after picture of Miles that were very interesting, right? I feel like replacing a legend is always hard, right? And that's what Flint had to do. What are the early returns?
Well, I just think his ability to put in a program that is intentional in the sense that we're going to train our players, but we're going to train them smartly. So they feel great going into the first game, but are trained properly to handle all weather conditions and to continue to develop throughout the season. We want our guys to feel like their best version of themselves is December.
Yeah.
And look, I looked at, film from the UCLA game. That was a tired football team, going into that game. We want our football team to be ready to compete at its highest level and continue to develop during the season. Jake Flint's really smart at doing that.
And then I'd be remiss if I didn't ask about the offensive line, man, because I think it's interesting in that I think it's probably, in my opinion, maybe the biggest swing position on the team in terms of like dictating the results of this season. Because you look at that D-line, we know the D-line's loaded, right?
Yeah.
We know the wide receiver room's absolutely loaded. That's a group. A lot's going to be relied upon with Charles Turner, maybe specifically. But what's the development like under Brad Davis as they're preparing for camp?
Yeah, it's a good question. I think what helps is getting a couple of guys back. You know, getting Bellinger back really helps us. Getting Bradford back really helps us. So, you know, add 2 guys to that offensive line. Brad now has a lot of versatility to move some pieces around. You know, Campbell coming on and doing what he did obviously helps us huge as well.
Yeah.
So I think now we go into camp where we can move the pieces around and put the best 5 guys out there.
Last one here, Coach. I mean, what are you most excited for today? I know these things can be very tiresome, but what are you most excited for?
I watched some of the competitive battles. I mean, we're going to have a competitive battle at quarterback, competitive battle at corner and safety, which we created. The offensive line is going to be awesome. I just can't wait to see these guys compete and do it in camp to get ready for that first game.
Hell yeah. Coach Brian Kelly here at SEC Media Days. More Off the Bench next.
OTB, OT.
All right, shout out Brian Kelly yesterday. That was before he went on live, and it was really great. Right now, I want to remind you to go to ITI Technical College, okay? You want to change your life, go to ITI Technical College today and get that AOS degree. The return on the investment is incredible. You're not going to find a better return. Don't take my word for it again, though. It's a 2021 Georgetown study where, where they rank ITI Technical College as the best investment you can make in yourself in the state and top 15 in the entire country. Also, remember, if you are, you are a full-time student, whether you attend day or night, okay? So night classes do not require you to go to school longer to graduate. You will graduate in the same amount of time as a day student. They're locally owned, family-owned. The campus is in Baton Rouge. It's beautiful. ITIcollege.edu.
This week on DropBiscuit.com or wherever you listen to podcasts is our new series, Pops, the Louis Armstrong story. Pops is brought to you by New Orleans & Company. Check out neworleans.com and come visit New Orleans.
For over 53 years, customers have been heading to Happy Town for the Corval Toyota experience. Why? Because they choose to get an outstanding price and amazing customer service. Want the same and get treated like family? Then Corval Toyota in Opelousas is the dealership for you. Corval vehicles have been cruising around Acadiana for 5 decades. Corval Toyota is here to stay, and we want to keep you rolling. So come on down to Happy Town. That's Corval Toyota in Opelousas, Happy Town, USA.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
This isn't just another day. It's so much more. Kelly's life was put on hold when her auctioneer primary care doctor discovered a rare blood disorder. Her doctor connected her to an auctioneer care team of cancer, heart, and kidney specialists. With multiple primary care locations around Baton Rouge, same-day appointments, and online scheduling, we're relentless about keeping you healthy. Auctioneer Baton Rouge, innovating healthcare for Kelly.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you were born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
crime has serious consequences, but anyone can make a mistake. If you find yourself in trouble with the law, know that you have rights, and it's okay to demand them. The law offices of O.C. Brown are here to protect you and your rights. Felony or misdemeanor, DUI or drug charge. No matter what crime you're accused of, you still have rights. Let the law offices of O.C. Brown uphold them. Call 225-343-1111. Your law firm.
Moscona inviting you to join us for Tuesday's AFR, presented by Insurance Network of Louisiana. We're live from Radio Row at SEC Football Media Days. Bama, Vandy, State, and the Gamecocks, they all take their turn. We'll be here 3 to 6, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Live from the 2022 SEC Football Media Days, presented by HUDCO Roofing, OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Yo, what's happening, y'all? Welcome back live at SEC Media Days. T-Bob, Rivs, Jake hanging out here on site. Shout out to Mario and Danny and Bo Wegman, Kate Wosley, and everybody else making it happen back home. It's been a really fun show today. Talked to a lot of cool people. And it's always a fast.
Did you say poople?
Poople. Freudian slip.
Look, there's some situations I get it.
Freudian slip. Rivs. Yeah, you'll see that the Saban days always carry a little extra juice, right?
This morning has gone by very quickly.
Yeah, and a lot of great guests. So we'll line that up again tomorrow. I say, though, right now, we unwind with a little mailbag. Is that cool?
I don't even know what day of the week it is. So mailbag day? Okay.
Special delivery.
Let's go.
And look, it is
more. But when I first started, this is the first thing T-Bob did.
The internet. What the is the internet?
I mean,
when I first started, that was like.
Okay, you can talk now.
When I first started, this is the first thing that you had done. Like, we had decided, like, we were going to do mailbag.
I am not joking. I worked in that sound for, I think, like 8 hours.
I remember the first time you had
How
mailed
quickly would you do it now?
Pretty quickly, but it was also just like...
You wanted to find the right stuff.
Yes. I had to dive deep to find all the clips, and then it came together piece by piece. But no, to your point, I was not very advanced, like, technologically at the time. Like, in a post-Song of Purple and Gold world, I could definitely make it way quicker. But I still think it plays.
No, but it was still incredible. I remember the first time I heard it being like, and you were so proud.
I was so proud of it. I still think it's really good.
It's still good.
Really good. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Everyone knows what they do for a Klondike bar, but what would you do for a Cosmic Brownie? I would go back in time and fillet myself.
Oh, yeah. I was like, what? But
Wait, you brought that up. That was your conversation piece at the table last night. Jake, what would you do?
I like to keep everybody engaged.
Cosmic brownie. I mean, I don't know. I like Cosmic brownies. I think they're really, really good.
Yeah, they're not really all that.
Okay, well, it's funny. You know, I'm 37. And I figured out I like Cosmic brownies. They're really good. They're really good. I mean, they're not my go-to. Like, if I'm like Little Debbie snack, oatmeal cream pie, double stuffed, is my favorite. Like, don't give me the small one either. We ain't toying around with the small one.
You know, give me that big cream pie.
Exactly.
Ooh,
I like
so
I like whatever. It's talking Little Debbie's. Whatever the little chocolate thing is with the little white swirly Q thing and little like white middle.
They're like something Q's, right?
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's.
I was into like a Little Debbie honey bun.
Yeah.
Because they really are a little treat. Because they're not real big, so you don't feel as bad. They're like this.
Are y'all old enough to remember when Ding Dongs came in foil?
Oh, I like Ding Dongs.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Like actual foil, not like
nope,
not like plastic. So you'd put it in the refrigerator with the foil, and it would be cold.
Oh
my gosh, it was so good.
Man, Little Debbie's got a lot.
It's making me a little hungry. I'm gonna. Not
we need
gonna
chill
lie.
probably.
Little Debbie's kind of got a lot of innuendo in those names. Now that we're talking this out. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Did you bring your own pillow? No, dude. Hotel beds are pretty great.
I don't bring pillows whenever I fly.
No, it's too much. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Who is this year's Cinderella story in college football? A la Cincy and Michigan last year.
Cincy and Michigan this year. It's going to be.
No, he was like Cincy, Michigan last year.
No.
Oh, okay,
yeah. So my three teams that you're going to hear me champion for, as far as teams that won't get the respect right now, that I think can be in the CFP discussion: North Carolina State.
I was about to say I know NC State's one.
Baylor, and Utah.
There you go. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Compare interviewing Edo with Brian Kelly. It's different.
Oh yeah, how is that?
It's different in that. Again, I think we all know this. Brian Kelly's literal background is in politics.
Mm-hmm.
The man knows how to
talk to people.
Yes. Like, he maintains, like, elite eye contact, right?
That makes me nervous sometimes.
I like to try to match it.
I was about to say, who looks away first?
The only thing I was feeling, now I feel like we're just like, locked.
No, I'm going to always look away first. I don't like it.
The only thing I felt uncomfortable was I felt like my breath smelled, and so I had that whole, like, subconscious thing. I'm like, try not to, like.
I was close talking to someone earlier, and I was like, oh, does my breath smell like coffee right now?
No, so I mean, look, I would just say Brian Kelly's a more polished interview, obviously.
Yeah.
You're probably getting a little more realness out of Coach O.
Mm-hmm.
Hashtag OTB mailbag. BK's number one factor for determining the starting QB is taking care of the football. With that in mind, y'all still believe Nuss is the guy. No, I believe if I'm a betting man, I want to be clear. You know, I'm excited about the potential of Nuss, but, like, if I'm putting money on it, I'm still saying Miles Brennan is the
I mean, it's got to be, huh?
He's
been there for 18 years.
I don't even, guys, I'll be honest with you. Like, I've talked myself into all
Everyone
three
at one
quarterbacks.
point, yeah.
Now, I do think whatever Denbrock wants to run, that's going to tell you who's going to be the quarterback. Because, like, depending on the offense, I can make an argument for all three.
Yes.
But, like, I need to know what you're going to run.
I do love that we have a literal Goldilocks quarterback room. You know, this one's too runny. This one's too passy. Is Nussmeier just right? We will wait and see. Hashtag OTBA mailbag. We need a Twitter video review of the gang going to Varsity and eating some burgers.
What do you have? What do you have? What do you have?
I'd be down to go to Varsity.
Oh, like frozen orange at Varsity?
I remember going to Vortex back in the day, and it was like a really cool joint that was by the Fox Theater that had really good burgers. And it was basically, I don't know, they had a very funny menu where it was just like, screw you, the customer's not always right. If you act like an a-hole, you're out.
Okay.
And they had really good burgers. I wonder if they're still good.
Nothing's going to beat our meal from last night.
Okay, yeah, we got to give a shout-out to Lloyd's.
Shout out Lloyd's.
First off, really cool vibes. It could have gone awry very easily because they built it from the ground up. We learned it felt like walking into a room in the 1970s. It was very throwback.
It truly looked like a 90s Pizza Hut.
Yes, I talked to one of the people that works for the company, and he told me their vision was 70s Wisconsin dive bar.
Which, like, what a very specific thing to shoot for.
I know, dude. But I feel like they nailed it. More importantly, the pizza was incredible. The mott sticks were incredible.
I stepped away from it, though, and I asked myself, is this the best pizza I've ever had in my life because I'm so hungry or because it's so good? And I think I landed on so good.
So it's funny that you say that because I, too, left that, and I was like, man, you know, how am I judging this accurately? But no, it was a top 5 pizza I've ever had.
I know we had a pitcher of beer, which is
Hands down,
nice,
yeah.
and it was like the vibes were good.
Yeah.
Everybody had a mullet.
Everybody, that's what's funny. The clientele, like the people shopping, not even the people working there, they looked like they were from a Wisconsin dive bar in the 70s. Like,
but
it was like they hired actors to like hang out there.
It really did. It had a real feel like, am I in the Truman Show right now?
Yes,
I will say, so I am a supreme pizza eater, and it was really, really good. But even, like, I would never, like, normally get a pepperoni.
Yeah.
The pepperoni was really good. The fundamentals were good.
Chuck Taylor, it's on the menu.
When they said that, they sold it.
You got to get that one. Yeah.
Without question.
Now I want to go. They make another bar. They have. I got 2 other recommendations from the guy. They do another restaurant that has a Blade Runner,
which
vibe.
I am so
we
into.
might have to go there.
Blade Runner Harrison Ford or Blade Runner.
I mean, I think the
Ryan
aesthetic
Gosling.
is the same.
And I know
but,
Harrison Ford's in the second one too.
What do you think that
guessing,
means?
I'm guessing original Blade Runner, not
like
Shape
a Blade Runner vibe. What do you think that means?
I mean, that's what I'm wondering. Is it like a dark dystopian future vibe?
What are we doing?
Like, I don't know. I got to see it. Hashtag OTB mailbag, Atlanta or Nashville?
Oh, man. Did you tell the story?
No, that's just Preston asking that.
Oh, man. Ooh, that was a heated discussion on SiriusXM yesterday. I understand Nashville and everything it brings to the SEC. Now, if we're talking Media Day, let's go to Nashville. Let's check that out. I love that idea. But if we're talking about the SEC championship game, sorry, T.
No, you're good.
They got to build a new stadium. Nissan's a dump. So they got to build a new stadium to get a championship game. But as I told Aaron Murray and Chris Childers, every major event should be held in New Orleans, Louisiana.
I want to do one of the Nashville Bachelorette ride around on the bike bar things.
Yeah.
We have one in Baton Rouge now, I think.
Oh, really?
But where are they riding?
Are they going down Government Street?
I think we maybe saw, like, it was downtown or somewhere. I don't remember.
Mine, not for instance, best burger in Atlanta is the quadruple coronary bypass from the Vortex. Quadruple coronary bypass. Hell of a burger name. Hashtag OTB mailbag. Remembering the smell of cut grass in the morning reminds me of football. What specifically reminds you of football? It is that.
Oh gosh, and it's like
Little
a
league.
little wet, like
Yes.
just from the
The dew,
morning,
yes.
the dew, and it's like there's that slight like
It
little
is.
crisp. It felt like that here yesterday.
Yeah.
Weirdly.
I don't want to jinx it. Great weather. Like it's actually been actively cool here.
T-Bubble we were walking outside over here, just like there's like a little bit of a walk outside, and it felt like fall. It was weird.
Yeah, I know.
What sound makes y'all think immediately like football practice?
Ooh, well, y'all probably, that's probably more
Mine
for
is
y'all.
cleats walking on the sidewalk.
The clickety-clack.
Clickety-clack of cleats.
It's very. If you were into ASMR, you're into the
Clickety-clack.
click-clack of heel of cleats on concrete. Sound-wise, I don't know, to be honest. I feel like at LSU there was always, not to go back to cutting grass, but there was like always some machine running somewhere on the field or something.
Oh look, downtown Baton Rouge does have the pedal pub. Daniel Basham did it. Said he's exhausted.
We should do an OTB pedal pub.
We should. We could
That'd
do
be
it.
very
We could
fun.
come live from the pedal pub.
Mine ever says, can you also have seat with Rivers so we can see her and not you two? Yeah, that makes sense. Hashtag
Whatever.
OTB mailbag. Do you feel all schools should host the SEC championship instead of having it in one place, Atlanta? No, I don't think school, because half these towns' infrastructure could not handle.
No,
an
yeah.
SEC
I
championship.
honestly, I wouldn't want to do it in Birmingham either. It's got to be a Nashville and Atlanta.
Yes.
Maybe Charlotte, but that feels more ACC, even though the network's there. New Orleans would be in that rotation.
Am I
I even think
making this-
Dallas is not in. I think that's Big 12.
Am I making this up, or was there talk at one point about doing a rotation?
There was.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
But
there is a
Atlanta's
rotation,
been really
but it's
good to the
between
SEC
those
as
it's
well.
between
Right.
the big boys.
Right. Then that's what like.
Those are the only three that come to my
Yes,
mind. I
yes.
can't really think of anywhere else that
That you'd
fits
wanna
in the
do it.
footprint that says we're in the SEC.
Yeah.
I wonder if they would do something in Texas now.
That's why I said Dallas feels like the Big 12 still, even though
Yeah.
you're going to have Texas and
Well, and it's going to be
A&M.
hard, for all those Sankeys contiguous,
Ooh, there it
flopping
is.
out
We
on the
get
table
it.
yesterday.
There
we get
It would not be very geographically.
Big word guy.
It would not be very geographically convenient.
Yeah.
For the rest of the conference. All right, when we get back, guess what? We're going to do Ask the Bench, which is literally just OTB mailbag, but, titled differently. So let's keep it rolling,
It's sponsored by
man.
Cold Cruise Light.
Yeah, brought to you by Cold Cruise Light. Visit our Tilted Blue Moon Light Sky Citrus Wheat. Real quick, do want to remind you, go to DraftKings, download the Sportsbook app today, and use the promo code Baton Rouge, all one word. No, chill out. When you do DraftKings, you get a $1,000 bet that if you lose, or you can put in up to a $1,000 bet, right? If it loses, they're going to give you a second shot with it. So if you think you have a play and you want to build an immediate nut to play with, download the DraftKings Sportsbook app, promo code Baton Rouge. We can't do it because we're in Georgia, but we're blessed to live in the state of Louisiana, which means you can do it. Download it today. More OTB next.
OTB, OT. Our listeners fire off their opinions on the jimsfirearms.net hotline at 499-1045. Keep listening for your next chance to shoot us your thoughts with the jimsfirearms.net hotline on 1045 ESPN Baton Rouge.
There it is, the extra mile, on the border of expected and extraordinary for those willing to go further, like vans customized for work or play, with safety and tech to keep you connected. Supported by a 5-star sales, service, and finance team. And backed by the 1-star you know. So go the extra mile. It's never crowded because so few have what it takes to go there. Mercedes-Benz Vans.
At Rejuvame, we specialize in medically monitored hormone replacement therapy, giving you the energy you need for all life's challenges. We can help get your day started. 1, 2, 1, 2.
Eli's always been into grilling. It took us a while to see it, but the signs were there.
What are you doing, Eli?
I knew grilling was my thing. I have been talking about it throughout my career.
Happy with the results?
I am. Got the new grill from barbecueguys.com. It performed great.
My advice, as I always told my boys,
do more of what you're born to do.
Barbecue Guys, for those who were born to grill.
You want cheese on your burger, Pops?
I'll take a little cheese.
Visit Acura of Baton Rouge for attractive offers on the MDX.
And this year, 2022, it's time to finally treat yourself. Bring your boat to the next level with front-to-back boat service. You want the latest and greatest marine technology? You want to go to the place that has not one, but two NMEA certified techs. Family owned and operated by the Sherman family for 30 years. Front-to-back is the answer in Baton Rouge for all of your custom boat needs. So head to fronttobackboatservice.com or find them on Facebook, Front to Back Boat Service.
It's no secret. The best oysters in Baton Rouge are at Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar. Enjoy mouth-watering South Louisiana flavor and oysters from all over the country. And don't forget our nightly drink specials. Jolie Pearl Oyster Bar, located in downtown Baton Rouge.
ServiceMaster Elite create clean, disinfected work environments. As a local business, we take pride in serving the New Orleans and Baton Rouge areas. Our cleaning protocols follow CDC and OSHA standards for healthcare settings, offices, senior living, restaurants, and industrial plants. Contact ServiceMaster Elite to get your operation ready for reopening with germ disinfection cleaning. ServiceMaster Elite, the trusted choice in professional cleaning since 1996.
Light beer shouldn't taste like water. Miller Lite has more taste and only...
Charles Henniger. Join me and Mike Delicano for the next edition of Jimmy Ott's Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers. We'll be at Mike Anderson Seafood, West Lee at Nicholson. SEC Media Days coverage, plus our NFL preview continues. Jimmy Ott's Game Time, presented by Bet Rivers, 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge.
Yeah. Miami. South Beach, bringing the heat. Can y'all feel that? Can y'all feel that? Jig it out. Here I am in the place.
Live from the 2022 SEC Football Media Days, presented by Hudco Roofing, OTB, OT, with Hester and T-Bob on 104.5 ESPN Baton Rouge and 94.7 ESPN Alexandria.
Yo, want to remember to give a huge shout out to Hudco Roofing, also Jerry Lane, Rejuvame, and 104.5 ESPN's official betting partner of SEC Media Days, DraftKings. Huge thank you for making this trip happen. It's been so much fun. Let's do a little Ask the Bench, brought to you by Cole Coors Light, Busy Hard Seltzer, Blue Moon, Light Sky, Citrus Sweet. Had a lot of delicious Coors last night. It was so damn good. Jake, this is a good one for you. Ask the Bench. Will BK keep the heat on Tackett? How about Tackett? The USC flip-up. No Ohio State. We thought Ohio State. West.
Yeah, we definitely thought Ohio State. I remember talking with Bobby Carpenter. He talked to Tackett on his visit at Ohio State. He felt like it was locked up. Not so much, man. That Hollywood.
I mean, look, I do kind of get it. Like, if you're a Louisiana kid and whatever, you're not going to go to LSU.
I mean, he hadn't lived in Maine, I guess, his whole life. I know he went to another school before, like early, like elementary, middle school, but like he's from Maine, Louisiana.
Yeah, bro.
And he gets, and he wasn't coming to LSU. We all know how that recruitment went. Hey, I'm going to go out to SoCal.
Go out to SoCal and probably, have opportunity maybe to make a little money, which it would make living in California way easier. Like, that's cool, man. I'm kind of jealous of him a little bit. Hashtag Ask the Bench. If you could marry a fictional character, who would it be? Man,
I had some more time to think about that.
Good question.
That's
But I feel
I think we should all answer this question tomorrow.
Yeah, I would like to ruminate on that a little bit.
That?
I'm trying to think about who I've.
Because it's like all fictional characters, like not just movies, TV, books, all fictional characters.
Ricky Compton asked the bench, no Star Wars button down, no neck roll sleeping pillow.
Oh,
this SEC Media Day is a complete bust?
You told us last night, one of the last things you said before we left the bar was that you would be wearing that shirt. All you would do is change your underwear.
Yeah, and Jake was so mean about it that
I need the neck roll pillow. I forgot about that.
But no, I am. I'm going to wear my Star Wars button down tomorrow morning.
Okay. You made an announcement to the bar.
Hashtag Ask the Bench. Do you have a truffle shuffle dance or something silly only your childhood friends would understand?
You got a lot of stuff only your childhood friends would understand.
You and your friends have a garbage bag.
maybe they call it a truffle shuffle.
Just throw it in the dumpster. Maybe
they call it a truffle shuffle in some circles. I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know, man. Like I don't have a lot of like. I've got one friend from high school that I really stay in contact with. A lot of my other friends are college friends, professional friends that I made.
I think all of mine are either mine are all high school friends I still am very close with, or like my very adult friends. I haven't stayed in touch as much with like my college friends.
Interesting.
Yeah.
It kind of makes me feel old talking about all this. I might need to go to Rejuve Me, feel a little younger.
Love that.
I don't care if I'm 20, 30, 40, 50, male or female. You're going to be like Randy McMichael? Go to Rejuve Me Medical today, okay? Feel younger, better. Plan that is customized to you and your body, what it needs. Draw your labs. And, they'll use that information there. And shout out to Rejuve Me for sending us to SEC Media Days, man. It's been awesome. RejuveMeMedical.com. Go support them. Feel like your best self. RejuveMeMedical.com.
Yeah, you can go to the website. You can find a full list of conditions that they treat. And remember, like, you might have something going on, and you might not think, okay, I can't get help with this, but they can find a way. It's a 3-step process to get you back on that path.
Ask the bench, favorite shoe brand?
Adidas.
New Balance.
That's not my favorite. I'm just saying they're back.
I mean, Nike's Nike.
I do like Nike.
Nike's the SEC.
I mean,
Adidas
all I got
is the Big
Nikes.
12.
Hey, watch out. I'm installment in my Air Force Ones. Somebody told me these Air Force Ones the other day.
OTB, OT.
Go to AccuTempBR.com, AccuTempBR.com. Look, you go there today for all your AC, heat, and electrical needs, okay? It's hot as hell. I get it, man. Okay, AC working overtime.
Yeah.
Energy companies maybe not being very friendly to you. Well, good. You know who is friendly? AccuTemp of Baton Rouge. The customer service is unbelievable. Service to the highest degree is what they say, but it goes beyond just being a great pun. They mean it. Go look at the online reviews. They're the absolute best. AccuTempBR.com, AccuTempBR.com.
Yeah, if you're at work, maybe you can't get to the phone, remember you can get service right now on their website, AccuTempBR.com. Pull it up. Hey, I want to schedule this, or I've got this thing scheduled. Maybe I need to move it around. Whatever concern you might have, but you're probably not going to have a concern with AccuTemp because of their ratings and their reviews. But if you do, AccuTempBR.com is the place to go. You can get that question answered right there on the spot. One more time, AccuTempBR.com.
The best things in summer are unofficial. Coors Light, the official beer of everything unofficial.
My own people call me an Uncle Tom. I play music. Been wined and dined by royalty. Trying to bring people together. All people. But regardless of all that kind of stuff, I'm still Louis Armstrong.
Here's the man you're waiting for, the king of jazz, Louis Satchmo Armstrong.
I've been doing business with Luba for 25 years. They're dependable, trustworthy. It's just the attention to detail with our clients.
Our folks have years and years of experience. They're highly trained professionals. But many companies have that asset. What I'd like to think makes Luba a bit different is that we use those talents in a way that truly is dedicated to serving the needs of the folks who depend on us.
Are you a licensed contractor? There's lots of good contractors in Louisiana doing work the right way, but unfortunately, too many unlicensed